Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rewind episode number 41 for Tuesday, March 10th, 2026. Marty Sleeva here, joined by Darren Mooney, Jack Packard, and an extremely worried Eric that we were just going to bulldoze the intro like we do every single week. And spoilers, we bulldozed the intro like we do every single week.
I was really impressed with how you picked up with that, Marty. Like, I was very, immediately, the camera went on and you were in Ron Burgundy mode. It was stunning to watch.
I'll read anything that's on my sheet. We have an excellent show for you all today. We're going to chat a little bit about this weekend's Oscars. The Oscars are in 5 days or so. We'll give maybe some final predictions, maybe some which of the nominees you should spend your time watching over the next few days, maybe some rankings. We're going to take a little mosey over into Weeb Corner, because Darren watched and eloquently wrote about Chainsaw Man, which I'm a big fan of. And we asked Jack, hey, Jack, would you like to also watch Chainsaw Man? And Jack, being a team player, said, sure. And then afterwards, Jack said, this is everything I hate about anime. So
literally killed my interest in watching anything else the rest of the week. I hated it so much.
The apathy devil got a hold of you, so that's a bummer.
Yeah.
We'll also talk
chain Saul, he chain conquered.
We'll talk about what we've been watching, including I saw Scream 7 last night. And let me tell you, why do they keep doing this? Maybe they should stop.
Do I have to make the gesture, Marty?
Oh, is it? It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Yeah. That's what the money's for, apparently. How are you guys doing? We'll just mention Darren. Let us know he's a little bit fluey, so apologies on his behalf if anyone sounds fluey.
Yes, sorry.
It could be anyone. Anyone could sound fluey.
Yeah.
Honestly, my default is just kind of fluey, so
yeah.
It could very well be me. Jack, how are you doing?
I'm doing literally I powered through Chainsaw Man kind of early in the week, and just my general interest in the arts as a concept left my body, where I was like, oh no, wait, it's got to be about something. Beyond that.
Jack did the Narcos meme. He just wandered around with his arms behind his back, just
literally
staring at.
I was gonna say you powered through it. That could have been a good goof on the character Power from the show, but I don't think.
No, it was
not the time.
It was not a goof.
Yeah.
I've been the other thing I've been trying to do, and trying is even too hard of a word. I'm a Chainsaw Man now.
You're Denji. You're everything you hate.
I did watch a little bit. Crunchyroll has the live action musical stage adaptation of season 1 of Chainsaw Man.
Oh, that sounds like a delight.
Yeah.
So I did watch a little bit of that, which I did find to be more entertaining. I've been trying to figure out what Nirvana the band the show is, and I have yet to discover what it is. As the movie finally came to a local theater, and I was like, what is can someone explain to me what Nirvana the band the show is? Is it a web series? Is it a Canadian television series? Is it just some people who made some things 15 years ago? I have no concept.
It does have big Canadian energy, and it is. I believe it was shot in Toronto. So
gotcha.
It is.
They do have
Canadian.
The tower in it, right? The tower is a major plot point.
The CN Tower, is a prime figure in it.
It towers over the narrative.
It towers.
But Marty understands this, as we are people who work in multiple mediums. I had a chance last night. There was a nice 6:00 showing at my local theater, my art house theater. And instead of going to see Nirvana the band, the show, the movie, I stayed home and played more Slay the Spire 2.
I appreciate that. Listen,
and it's,
I appreciate that.
When you watch a lot of movies and play a lot of video games, sometimes video games win.
I thought you were going to say you stayed home to rewatch the Super Mario Galaxy Nintendo Direct from yesterday, which contained the news that Donald Glover is voicing Yoshi and Luis Guzman is voicing Wart, the villain from Super Mario Brothers 2. He is the ward of the Dreamland. He's kind of like the king of the Shy Guys, but he's Wart. He's like a frog toad man. Yeah, from Mario 2. So
wait, is it going to be a dream?
Maybe he escaped the dream, like Freddy Krueger's.
Like he's a Freddy Krueger's?
He's a Freddy Krueger's. He got out of the dream. Yeah.
Oh, well,
Like
there you
Benny Sadfi is Bowser Jr. And by the way, I
Correct.
know that because in the trailer he appears. It says, "I'm Bowser Jr." So I'm like,
Mhm.
I think I figured out what this character.
He's also
is
just
gonna be
small Bowser, so you probably could throw out 5 possible names, and Bowser Jr. would probably be one of them.
go. Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about Mario in a couple weeks. Jack, you were talking about possibly needing to take one episode off to purely focus on Adventurers Night. If you want that to be the Mario one, you're welcome.
Also,
Or if you wanna
Mandalorian
be-
and Grogu. Like you have a choice here, Jack.
Yeah, or I guess the space movie, Sad Space Boy, next week in Project Hail Mary. So the choice
you
is
know what?
yours and yours alone.
You
I
know
do.
Project-
I am
Sad
more
Space
interested
Boy?
in Sad Space Boy. I want to see Sad Space Boy. I'll take off Grogu. I'll take off Grogu week. I don't need Grogu in my life.
I mean, I think I already like axed your name from that episode.
Great. Thank you.
Honestly,
appreciate
I would get angry if you didn't watch Andor and you watched The Mandalorian and Grogu. Like I just get mad on the episode.
What
Yeah.
if it brought Jack back though? What if Jack was like, "Look, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was rash."
Everything they're showing about that movie looks like it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It looks
Oh,
so
yeah.
boring. Jeremy Allen White as just like as a Jabba with a couple axes.
Yoked Jabba the Hutt.
That's what we need. Yoked. Because if it was one thing that Jabba as a cool character desperately needed was to be strong and move fast, maybe I don't know. Nothing
what
matters.
if the slug had abs? Like
And be
things are
voiced by the
important
bear.
way.
Yeah. Great. We probably will only need to talk about that movie once because it probably won't be nominated for any Oscars next year. However, we should be focusing on this weekend's Oscars. Very exciting. The Academy Awards, the 98th Academy Awards, hosted by Conan O'Brien once again, is this Sunday evening on ABC and Hulu, at least in the States. I don't know where. I guess in Europe it's probably very late at night, so people probably aren't watching it live. But Darren, I just wanted to, I know you've seen all of these movies, right? Kind of what are your, do you have any like gut takes? What's going to be the big winners over the weekend, or anything that might be shut out, or who's going to kind of walk away with the most prizes, the big ones? Any thoughts?
I mean, I actually like that this has become a horse race. I like that, like, when it was announced, there was a very clear, like, it's going to be one battle after another. It's going to be Timothée Chalamet in, like, lead actor. I like that over the course of the course of the awards season, because it's dragged on long enough, and I'm sure there is a super chat there about the insanity that happens when an awards season drags on so long that you have to dissect Timothée Chalamet's thoughts on opera and ballet. But I do think that, like, one of the interesting facets of, like, the long season has been the idea of, like, the changing, shifting narrative, where Chalamet may as well have had his name printed on the Best Actor Oscar by the time the race started, but as the race has gone on, it's become increasingly ambiguous. Could it be Michael B. Jordan sneaking in there under the radar? Part of me still thinks it would be hilarious for Chalamet to lose to DiCaprio, winning his second Oscar, because that would just be, like, every time Chalamet is nominated, he should lose to somebody who already won an Oscar and was already a young person when they won an Oscar. I think it's kind of, I'm still trending towards, I think One Battle After Another will still probably like end up dominating the night. I think it will probably still take home the prize. I do think that like Best Picture is a horse race, and I love that Best Picture is a horse race between two Warner Brothers films, as if to say goodbye to Warner Brothers as a studio. It's like, hey, this studio made art. It made two of the best films of the year. They're in competition. They're going into dead heat, going to win the prize. And that studio will just not exist in 3 years' time. Isn't that great? Doesn't that make you feel wonderful at the state of the industry? More broadly speaking, I mean, look, I think it looks like a good, like, we said it when the nominations came out, it was a good year for film.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good slate of nominations that covers a number of good films. You rewatched like 9 of the 10 nominees over the past week.
I did.
I think, like,
while playing Pokemon Pocopia. I did both of them poorly at the same time.
There's like looking up at it when you hear like on the Nature of Daylight by Max Richter at the climax of Hamnet. You're just like, I recognize
that song
play
from Arrival.
Yeah.
All right, back to Pikachu. Let's see how he's doing.
Yeah, kind of vaguely reminds me of the soundtrack to Leftovers. But like, I honestly do think it's a good slate. I think it's a good pool of nominees. I do think like in most of the cases where you have a dead heat, I think either winner would probably be deserving. Very similar to like the Lily Gladstone, Emma Stone thing, where it's like, I would personally have rather seen Lily Gladstone win for the historical importance of that. But like Emma Stone also gave a performance that was really good. So who am I to judge? If Chalamet wins, I'll be happy. If Michael B. Jordan wins, I'll also be happy. If Paul Thomas Anderson wins, I'll be happy. If Ryan Coogler wins, also happy. Like the two films that are in dead heat are like my personal two favorite films of the last year. And I think that's a pretty good place to be going into the ceremony. I think pretty good place to be going into the awards. And honestly, I quite enjoyed Conan O'Brien like hosting. So I'm quite looking forward to that as well.
Yeah. I completely agree. And even like this is one of those years where like the movies that are my like 9th and 10th favorite of the 10 nominees are still like F1 and Frankenstein, which like they're not bad. Like they're both very derivative, but they both have like really gorgeous moments in them. So like in the grand scheme of things, it's not like fucking Wicked being nominated or something, you know, where I'm just like, why did this happen?
And like if you've seen F1 in a theater, an IMAX theater with a proper sound system, you get why it's nominated, and you get why it's probably going to win a bunch of technical awards, or at least it's going to win best sound. Like I would argue it's pointless to watch it at home, but in a theater, it's incredible. You know?
No, the best way to watch it at home is while paying attention to your Pokemon at the same time.
I think, like, how long is it going to be until we finally get the Oscar award for best second screen content?
Man,
I'm actually really glad they pushed
Marty.
The blockbuster like award managed to go out. Remember when like for 3 weeks they had the blockbuster award? And remember when for 1 year they had the fan favorite moment award until they realized what a stupid idea that was.
Best kiss.
The Flash enters the Speed Force, right? If I remember correctly.
The Flash enters the Speed Force. I forgot about that.
What did you think was gonna happen? How could you forget, Marty? One of the great moments as a culture. But like, what did you think was going to happen when you asked the internet to vote on their favorite movie moment?
I thought you were going to ask me what did I think was going to happen when Flash entered the Speed Force, and I was going to be like, I honestly don't know because I don't know what the Speed Force is.
It's been that long.
Seems like it's some sort of a quantum web.
It connects us all, Marty. It connects.
It does.
All.
It truly does. But yeah, I mean, my like
in the middle of it. Yes.
my top 5 of those were my number 1 is Marty Supreme, followed by Train Dreams, which is just like fucking right down the middle to me. And then One Battle After Another, Sinners, and The Secret Agent, all 5 of which like I loved. I think all 5 of those movies are great. And then fun. It's gonna be a fun weekend. Jack, have you seen? I mean, obviously we've talked about a few of these. Did you get a chance to see Marty Supreme?
I have not, because I have a general disdain for Timothée Chalamet. Okay. And this is a true thing. I hate what is theoretically a very good video game because the main character looks too much like Timothée Chalamet.
Lies of P? Can't you put like a pig mask on him or something?
I know he's under there. I know he's under there, Marty, and I can't stand it.
He's Timothée Chalamet to you, yeah?
I feel like you would really vibe with Marty Supreme. It is like a 2.5 hour like it's like a panic attack that's kind of nice to have. It's like a nice panic attack.
Yeah. It's like Uncut Gems if Uncut Gems were like something your mother would watch. You know, that's the kind of vibe.
You know what? That is my vibe.
Yeah.
No, and I had The Secret Agent all teed up last week. It's like, okay, this movie looks gorgeous. I am ready to just sit down and enjoy this. Had a lady friend over. Hey, let's watch The Secret Agent. 2 hours and 40 minutes.
2 hours and 40 minutes. Yeah, and it's I'm gonna be honest. It is at the bottom of the list for second screeners because it's got subtitles. You got to read.
2 hours.
Not a huge. It is a fun movie, but not a happy movie. If we can differentiate between the two, it is a fun movie to watch, but it doesn't leave you feeling great about like the state of the world.
What is the best date movie of these of the 10? Is Sinners the only good one? F1, I guess, could be a date movie.
Well, I mean, Sinners makes its own promises. Yeah, I think like Sinners is like very upfront about like what it seems to be.
That's writing a check that you're gonna have to cash at the end of the night. But like Hamnet's kind of just like a bad time.
A bit of a downer, yeah. It's like, so on our first date, how do you feel about child death? Yeah.
Hamnet is a bit of a downer. It is a love story at the end of the day. Not the worst date movie. Sinners, you know what you're getting on the tin. Maybe a Frankenstein. I didn't see Frankenstein, but
it's Jacob Elordi, and it looks pretty.
Yeah, right? He's just a bunch of just like
maybe a little bit too much incest for normal people, but you know, whatever. We don't want to freak your, you know. Marty's like,
listen, this is post Game of Thrones. We're fine.
We're fine. Yeah, everything's
we can
fine.
handle it.
No, so I haven't
put Mia Goth's syphilitic father's brain inside the monster that will fall in love with her, but also she looks exactly like Victor's mom as well. And you're like,
right?
Did we need this much? Yeah, like
was Victor's mom played by Mia Goth?
Yeah.
Look at that Mia Goth. What can't she do?
What can't you do? So yeah, I haven't seen a terrible amount. I really was hoping to see more. I know our Begonia talk was cut a little short, but I last time because we decided to start that with 3 minutes left of the podcast.
Oh, I forgot to watch The Testament of Ann Lee.
Oh no,
we gotta kick that. We'll kick that the next episode. I forgot to watch it because it's not nominated for anything.
That's true. But like Begonia is very good. I can't imagine it winning Best Picture. I One Battle After the Other out of the ones I've seen is my personal favorite. If Sinners wins, great. If Begonia somehow wins, I'm happy. If F1 wins, I'm tossing the table over and calling foul.
Your family's wondering why you moved the table into the room in the first place. Like, it's like, Jack, why have you put the table in front of the couch? It's like, don't ask.
Just in case.
I thought you were trying to say Colin Farrell, and you fucked up so badly, and I was going to be like, I don't know whether to tell you he's not in that movie or holy shit, you fucked up his name by saying Colin.
That's how you do an Australian accent.
Hugh Jackman. Oh, my mate, Colin Farrell.
Yeah, I'm Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell.
I do get the sense, though, if you sat Colin Farrell down, like, we want to make you look like Javier Bardem, he'd be like, I'm into it. It's like...
Put the prosthetics on.
Yeah.
Right? No, like, I think, like... Just to kind of highlight the things that Darren has already said here, it's like it was a good year for movies in general last year, and I would like us all, with all of the very depressing news of mergers and buyouts and whatnots, as that is right on the horizon, let's just take a moment and appreciate we had a really good year last year.
And the two movies Darren highlighted, One Battle After Another and Sinners, like both like extremely fun movie theater movies.
Right.
That like it's not, sometimes we get Best Picture nominees that are a little like, this was great, but like I'm not going back to The Brutalist. I'm not seeing The Brutalist multiple times in theaters. Like Sinners and One Battle, I both saw twice in theaters. I was like, these are great. I'm having a great time.
I'm gonna crack what happens to Guy Pearce this time. That's what I'm gonna crack. Joe Cornish fan cam from The Brutalist,
incredible. All right, and obviously next episode we'll have some thoughts on what goes down at the ceremony itself. Before we jump into the stuff we've been watching, starting with Chainsaw Man, we'll go over a couple of super chats. Thank you so much, already flooding in. Appreciate that. Remember, our current goal right now, you can see at the top of the screen, is an all-day Dokapon extravaganza. We will start on a Saturday in the morning, and we will play until we're done or till we're dead. So
if you either want to, right?
This is it's like a Mario Party-esque game, but with it's like if Mario Party lasted 45 hours long.
Okay.
And so myself,
is there
Jesse,
a sawn-off shotgun like the last Mario Party game I played here?
I mean, this whole thing has kind of felt like a sawn-off shotgun. So we will finish it or we will die trying. Thank you so much. Starting off rhetorical bullshit with a $10 Canadian dono. Oh God, it's already happening. Curious if you Trekkies have watched The Orville, Seth MacFarlane's love letter to Next Generation. By season 3, it was more serious than some of the best sci-fi show writing I have seen. IMO. Have either of you guys seen Seth MacFarlane's The Orville?
That's what I've heard. I've heard is as it gets later in the season, like it finally coalesces into like kind of what Seth MacFarlane wanted it to be, which is basically Star Trek: The Next Generation. Even though they're not making Star Trek: The Next Generation anymore, I couldn't get past the first 4 or 5 episodes, so I dropped off real damn hard. Yeah. I'm sure it gets better. Seth MacFarlane is I apologize to Seth MacFarlane, who I do believe to be genuinely funny a lot of the time. He's a hard pill to swallow sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree with you there.
I'm literally the same boat there. Is that like I've heard it gets very good and I've been curious to check it out, but it was so bad. It was so hard to power through. Like Star Trek comedy episodes are generally not good Star Trek episodes. And it's like, what if we did 4 of those back to back? I'm like, I can't. I just can't. I'm out. I'm sorry. He again, and to shout out MacFarlane, he does seem lovely. Like he donated like $1 million to like the strike fund and stuff like that. To like, and he frequently ordered like pizza for the protesters during the WGA strikes and stuff like that. And isn't the implication that at least some of the like cancellation of Ted at Peacock is down to the fact the studio is like, not too fond of this Mr. Pro-Labor guy.
Yeah. No, I like a lot of what he's done in the past. And yeah, this one just didn't. It was it was not close enough, but it was close, but not close enough, and not far away enough to be different. I'm sure it gets better. I don't have time in my life to go back to it.
We'll also say that like the third season of Star Trek Picard basically had me like, maybe we should put the Next Generation out of its misery. I'm like, I love the Next Generation very dearly, but maybe I need to hit it a couple times with the shovel to make sure it stays down.
I don't know.
I do love it so much.
This might be like a future super chat or future topic conversation, but I think it's really okay and it's really good for old series that we love just to exist as old series. We don't need to bring back every series.
So you're very excited about that Firefly announcement, yeah?
Especially every sci-fi series. We don't need to do it.
Jack is referring to the fact that there's been Nathan Fillion has been posting little videos going around and like chatting with all the original crew members or cast members of the Firefly crew, teasing some sort of announcement happening, I think, next week. And worst case scenario is if the show is coming back.
Worst case scenario is the show is coming back.
Yeah. That's it. It's like, it's a weird situation where you're like, I'm rooting for Nathan Fillion to be launching his own brand of vodka. Like that's the best case outcome of this. Like, is that he's launching like Firefly themed vodka? Because Jack made the point. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, all of these people are going to guest star on my current TV show. That would be fine.
The Rookie. Yeah, we're doing a reunion on The Rookie.
Go ahead, Darren. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, I was gonna say, like, the point you made, which is incredibly salient when we were talking about it, is just the idea that like the Joss Whedon of it, which is that like Firefly is like tied to Joss Whedon irrevocably, right?
Yeah.
So there are two possibilities if you reboot Firefly, right? The first of which is that it does not in any way involve Joss Whedon, which is the morally correct decision. But then why are you remaking Firefly? The second possibility, and this is entirely possible in the hellscape in which we live, in which like Max Landis is writing G.I. Joe movies, Brett Ratner is directing like Rush Hour 4 movies, Kevin Spacey is probably going to head a Paramount movie at some point in the future. But if Joss Whedon is involved, that is even fucking worse than option number one.
I liked how your option number 2 was also your middle finger as well.
That's why you should watch the podcast, not listen to it on your service.
There you go. There you go. What a nightmare. Quintuple A, thank you so much for a $10 dono. 8-hour Persona streams are gone. How about an 8-hour Rewind podcast? Hashtag Mooney filibuster. Hashtag spend your workday with the Rewind. I feel like that should be more of like a Make-A-Wish Foundation thing. Although if you're using your last wish on this, I'll give you some better wishes.
Right. Yeah.
I do like the idea of us just traveling to the hospital to do a live podcast in person for some poor person. Like, it's like
someone's just like, what did you think of the Orville? And we're all like,
the doctor's like, I don't think this is helping him.
The person's like, Chainsaw Man's my favorite show of all time. Jack Packard, what did you think? Destroyed my faith in art.
Made me have a sit down and have a real good think about art. Like, was it a mistake?
And Jack looks at his watch and goes, how long you got? Yeah.
You're hovering over like the master files for Adventures Night Season 5 and like, should I just delete this? Should we just stop?
Yeah.
Adventures Night Season 5 coming soon. Go over to the Discord and you can see a little tease of the early season. SG Night 13, thank you so much for the $5 donut. My wife works in the opera, so I'd be remiss in my duties if I didn't ask you guys what your take on the recent Timothée Chalamet discourse. He had a sit down, a chat with his Interstellar co-star Matthew McConaughey, and he brought up that's just Whoopi Goldberg. That's a completely different human.
She had an opinion on it on the view. She had.
I was like, that's not Matthew McConaughey. Could you imagine True Detective with Whoopi though? Honestly, might watch. Might watch.
Yeah. And Timothy, those are the two. Like, that's the two partnerships.
Wow, that's actually killer. Timothée Chalamet pretty much, I think, was just talking about wanting to be wanting to make great movies that also were popular and appealed to the masses, and sort of offhandedly said something about how opera and ballet were kind of dying arts.
So here is his quote that people are very upset about. I pulled up the quote, which is, I don't want to be working in ballet or opera or things where it's like, hey, keep this thing alive, even though it's like no one cares about this anymore. He then, right afterwards, said, all respect to the ballet and opera people out there. I just lost 14 cents in viewership. I'm taking shots for no reason.
Yeah, he also comes from a ballet family. Like I believe his sister and his mom, part of
His
the New York.
grandmother, mother, and sister all perform with the New York City Ballet. Yeah.
Yeah, and so this has become a big thing of how dare he use his position of power to demean. This is punching down, that kind of thing. My thought on it is like, we have to care about more important things than this, than what this kid thinks about. Or not a kid. He's an
what do you
adult,
think this is? Do you think this is the early 90s and this is our biggest concern right now? Get out of town.
Yeah, I don't know, Darren. Like, what do you? This also kind of feels like one of those things. Granted, he was the one who said it. It feels like a thing that the opposition planted for him to lose. You
mean like the Jesse Buckley cat thing? Yeah,
like the Jesse Buckley cat thing. Except I think this was the day after voting was done, and he said it. So I don't know, like that. Darren, do you have any thoughts?
I mean, like, I'm the worst person in the world to ask because I do like the opera and the ballet, not to be a stereotype of myself. Like, I love going to see like an opera. When I'm in Paris, I like checking out a ballet or whatever. Like, I love that stuff, but he is correct though. Like, they are niche art forms, and I think like they're great. And I think it's very clear based on his family lineage, he is not disparaging them. He is just making a fact that they are less accessible than they were. They are an elite thing. They cost a lot of money. It's very hard to go see them. They aren't accessible to the masses. Like, I don't sit down at work, turn to the person next to me and go, hey, what you guys think of the Berlin Opera's version of like Swan Lake? It's like, well, I have some thoughts about that. It's like, no, it is a very niche, very specialized thing. I think like Chalamet's making a very valid point about like movies and the monoculture, which is that like for decades, maybe the better part of a century, movies and television were the monoculture. They were a conversational thing where you could just assume that people had seen the 10 highest grossing movies of the year. And that was a very easy way to talk to people. Everybody understood the references, etc. And I think like Chalamet is just giving voice to what is a legitimate concern, which is the anxiety that what was a mass market, affordable, easily replicable in a way that opera and like ballet are not art form, is on the verge of becoming something more niche, something more exclusive, something more expensive, something more specialized. And he has a certain anxiety about that because he wants to be doing something that is populist and accessible, and that like people in large quantities not only care about, in inverted commas, because obviously you can care about the opera and not afford to be able to go to the opera, but can care about and actually partake in and have like thoughts on and engage with. I think it's a very valid point. I think he's also like 30 years old, I say, as somebody who is only 8 years older than him. But like, when you're a 30-year-old guy and you have a spotlight thrust on you, you're going to say things that are not perfectly worded, articulated opinions. You're going to say something like, I don't want it to be like opera and ballet. And that's going to get quoted out of context. I do think, to Marty's point, ignoring like the fact that obviously this is the most important thing that's happening in the world, I think like we should talk to like Israel and Iran and see what they think about Timothée Chalamet's opinions about like ballet and opera.
Right.
But I do think that like more broadly, it's an illustration of the award season is too long. Like, the award season is too long. We've reached the point where this is the conversation we're having. And the second thing is that, like, is Chalamet a movie star is, like, quantifiably answered by the fact that I know his opinions about ballet and opera. Like, I feel like that's a very definitive answer to the people being like, Timothée Chalamet is not a movie star. Movie stars don't matter. We are talking about what this 30-year-old kid thinks about ballet, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I don't. And as someone who all of us speak extemporaneous for hours and hours a week.
Absolutely.
Oftentimes you say something, and when you're like, if I had time to script that, I would have reworded it better. I think I 100% understand his meaning. I'm sure if he would take a mulligan and go back and reword that slightly. Also, this is the most press the opera and ballet have gotten this century, and I'm not kidding. This is the most press it's gotten in 26 years.
And like, to be fair, the ballets are capitalizing on this. They're playing up the kind of like kayfabe wrestling, like us versus Timothée Chalamet of it, but they're giving out opera codes with our like, use Chalamet to get 25% off your next opera ticket. And
no one knows how to spell Chalamet is the problem.
Yeah, that's why the opera's rubbing their hands together. By the way, to prove my opera bona fides, I just want to shout out, if you're in Sydney, during the summer, they do Opera on the Harbour, which is an incredible thing where they perform like an opera over the summer in Sydney Harbour in the open air on a floating stage. And because if they don't perform the opera, they have to refund the tickets. Those actors go out in rain, hail, or shine. There are some absolutely incredible videos of people performing like Madame Butterfly being blown off the stage by like waves. It is absolutely stunning to see. If you're in Sydney, I would recommend it. It's a beautiful way to see these things. It's at night. It's beautifully lit. It's in an open air space. And like Sydney is generally quite temperate. So yeah, if you are interested in checking out opera and you do live in Sydney, Australia, that's a really cool thing that happens there involving
Do you
opera.
want... this is a true story, and the timing of this is very funny. I am close to pulling the trigger on buying tickets to an opera in June at Carnegie Hall because it is a Final Fantasy VI opera, and there is an iconic scene in Final Fantasy VI that is in the that is an opera that like the characters put on, and that is going to be part of the concert at Carnegie Hall. And so, take that, Timothy Chalamet.
By the way, I love in the comments people are like, when was the last time Chalamet was in a musical film anyways? And it's like, did you guys not see Wonka?
Yeah, like a year ago? That made
three Chalamet films. And also, I guess A Complete Unknown also counts as a musical film as well.
That's true.
Our boy loves his music.
Yeah, honestly, Marty Supreme felt like it had a little bit of a tempo to it. The ping pong makes it feel like a tempo. Mop Man, thank you so much for a $5 dono. Watched Slaughterhouse with some friends. Sloth Michael Myers kills a sorority, essentially. Very dumb movie. Fun time to mock with friends, though. Slaughterhouse. Do you guys know about Slaughterhouse?
Nope.
I've seen the poster, though. Good job, Eric.
Oh, that does look like it looks like a slaughterhouse with a sloth.
Oh, they should have branded it like sloth is nice. the seventh deadliest sin, sloth or something.
Oh, that could have been good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like how there was one picture of the sloth and then it faded away. These are just nice. Is this the killer? Because he looks nice. Sloth
Don't looks profile, Marty. Don't profile him.
I guess it's true. I like when a nice looking person can be insane. That always makes things fun. Like Frankenstein. He's handsome. He looks like a Frankenstein. Sorry,
are we talking
like monster?
Jacob Elordi or I do love by the way that in The Bride, like Christian Bale in his first scene is like, Frankenstein was my dad's name, but I'm his son, so I am also Frankenstein. So please call me Frankenstein. It's cool. I love that. Like, there's an entire scene in like Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride that's like, just so we're clear, we're calling him Frankenstein.
Last night I felt like I had two doors in front of me. I could either see Scream 7 or The Bride, and I was like, I'll see Scream 7 first, and I'll go to The Bride some other day. And I saw Scream 7. I'm like, I should have saw The Bride, and I feel like if I would have saw The Bride, I would have been like, I should have just gone home.
You should just walked into the ocean. Yeah.
Is The Bride as banal as the trailer makes it seem?
Yeah. The Bride is bad is the very that's the headline.
Okay,
just anything I'm about to say, just hear The Bride is bad, but at the start of it, which is it is bad, but it is a big swing full of big ideas, big performances. I want to shout out, I'm trying to think who it was it Charles Bramsco? Said that like Jessie Buckley gives the most studied at RADA performance in the history of cinema. And like that is exactly now you think it's gonna be fun. And for like 2.5 minutes, it is fun. But you extend it over about 2 hours, and it very quickly becomes like exhausting for everybody in the audience. But it's full of big ideas. It's doing big things. Gyllenhaal like obviously has a whole bunch of thoughts about like cinema, the art creation, problematic women, etc., etc. The problem is though that like we have The Bride at home, and The Bride is Poor Things, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, and that episode of James Gunn's Creature Commandos, all of which came out in like the past 3 years and did everything that this movie's trying to do better, which is a real shame. I admire it, but I would not recommend it under any circumstances.
Yeah, we might be tapped out on Frankenstein.
Yeah,
and Dracula fair. At the point. I don't know what's next.
Luc Besson's Dracula is out today, I believe, on streaming. You'll never guess who it
Creature
stars.
From the Black Lagoons. Oh, isn't it? Shit, I listened to a podcast about it.
But like, if you're casting a modern day Dracula, and there's like it's a European set film, and you need somebody to be a.
Is it a Skarsgård?
No, it is Christoph Waltz, because of course it's Christoph Waltz.
Okay, there we go.
He's Dr. Van Helsing in it.
There was two options. It was either a Skarsgård.
Does syphilis eat his brain in that film as well?
And they put it in Dracula,
Perfect. Honestly, it's all fine. Then Raven with a $2 dono. Thank you so much. Just says, Jack, it's been a while. Hi.
Hi, Raven.
Thanks, Raven. All right. Let's jump into we'll turn the corner into Weeb Corner.
Great.
Talk a little bit about Chainsaw Man. Darren, you covered Chainsaw Man for the site or for the channel via a great Patreon article the other week. You jumped into this, I think, mostly sort of because the Rezark film did it enter the top 250? Is that why you needed to?
Yes, it did. So that's why I had to. There was a gun to my head.
So you were legally obligated. This is it's as of right now. This is the first season is out, as well as the film, which is just kind of the next arc. Also, the timing is good because the second part 2 of the manga they announced, I think this morning, is actually wrapping up in a few weeks. So. That's kind of a big event for the series. But yeah, Darren, what did you think of Chainsaw Man? And then Jack, I would like to hear what you thought of Chainsaw Man.
I, broadly speaking, quite liked it. Again, I want to put my hands up and say I have struggled with anime in the past, where like I think the one anime that I've really clicked with, outside of obviously like the Ghibli stuff, Akira, the classics of the form, etc. But like outside of all of that, the one anime TV show I really clicked with is like Neon Genesis Evangelion, which to my mind is, generally regarded as being an odd one, perhaps even like a deconstruction or a somewhat cynical view of like the entire art form, medium, genre, etc. I kind of bounced off. Like I've tried One Piece, I have tried Demon Slayer. I have actually watched all of the first season and the movie, and I'm going to end up watching the rest of it as well. And that just it's like water off a duck's back. I cannot comprehend that show. I mean, like I understand logically. I don't need the plot explained to be clear. But
His
I'm like,
sister's in the backpack. What don't you get?
Yeah, I mean, he slays demons. It's right there. In the
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's like a Lynchian masterpiece where I'm struggling to piece together the narrative through line of Demon Slayer, but it does not click for me. I do not understand it. I do not get it. I have like what is this about? What is this saying? What is the perspective of this show in a way that is confusing to me because it makes me feel old and out of touch, because obviously a lot of people do get it and it means a lot to a lot of people, and I think that's great. But I also, while watching it, feel old and out of touch and like I'm shaking my fist at the clouds. That brings me to Chainsaw Man, which I watched and I kind of got, which I was really like surprised and impressed by. Part of me is like, do I get it because it is incredibly pandering to like me, in that it is a show that was clearly like based on a manga written by Fujimoto, is the name of the guy who was born in like 1993 and began publishing it when he was 26 years old.
Baby when he wrote this. Yeah.
Yeah, and that maybe shows in some ways when you get to like the manga and the anime. But also, like, it is clearly like a stew of his influences and the things that he loves. Like, so, the opening credits include shoutouts to like Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, The Big Lebowski. The movie includes shoutouts to like Taxi Driver and No Country for Old Men and like Constantine starring Keanu Reeves and stuff. And part of me is like, there's a sequence in the movie where they just go to an all-day movie marathon, culminating in them watching a 1959 like Soviet Russian film Ballad of a Soldier. And I'm like, I feel like I'm being astroturfed by anime. I feel like if they grew an anime in a lab that was designed to make me go, I think I get it.
Yeah.
This would be kind of close along those lines. I found myself very charmed by the show. I think, look, we'll talk about it when we get to Jack's section. I do have some pretty big concerns. And those concerns are a lot of stuff that are, at the risk of somebody who is not overly familiar with anime, suffuse a lot of the anime that I watch, which is that, for better and for worse, this is a very teenage boy medium. It has obsessions that are very teenage boy oriented and fixates on them. And while I think I'm being very careful here to avoid any cultural insensitivity,
don't worry, I won't.
Okay, that's grand. Well, yeah, Eric knows what I'm talking about. But like, while the worst of the anime that I bounce off most firmly are just like, hey, here's all of that stuff uncritically presented to your eye. Oh, gaze upon this feast. Feel that dirty, shiny skin surface stuff going on there. I do think, to give credit where it's due, like Neon Genesis Evangelion and Chainsaw Man are like, this is kind of icky, but also we're going to do it anyway. And I'm like, you pick one. You can't do both. You can't do it and like critique it at the same time. But no, I honestly, all that aside, I really like. Yeah, no, Eric is right there. Eric has the exact thing I'm thinking
Eric,
about in Neon
we
Genesis
know
Evangelion.
that scene.
very,
What's
very,
happening?
very.
What's happening there?
Dude,
Just visiting his friend in the hospital. I don't know. That seems pretty nice.
it's a very touching scene in some ways,
God
one
damn
might
it.
say.
God.
Sorry, maybe I shouldn't pun about that. Maybe there are some things that I shouldn't pun about.
Wow,
he's-
we found the first thing you can't pun about.
Yeah, masturbating over a comatose teenage girl in a hospital bed. I'm sorry, I'm a prude, Marty.
Wow, we all have a line. I
yeah.
guess we found yours.
But I will say, like, setting all of that aside, I think it is a show that has things to say. I think it's a show that resonates with young people. What I found really interesting about Chainsaw Man is it reminded me a lot of like Steve Ditko and Stan Lee's Spider-Man, in that it is a story about like a teenage boy whose body is going through some very, very weird changes, who is having like some emotions that he does not know how to process and how to deal with, who finds himself entrusted with great power, isn't necessarily responsible enough to handle that in a mature way, and having to navigate the relationships that kind of go with that. I found that really interesting because I think that like we talk a lot in contemporary culture about the superhero genre, about superhero fatigue, about like the idea that superheroes are no longer as central to culture as they were even, say, 7 years ago. And I'm like, watching Chainsaw Man, I'm like, oh, I get it. This is why kids like anime. This is why teenagers now will buy manga instead of comics, while they watch anime instead of superhero shows. It's because these shows are, to my mind, doing a much better job of capturing, to my mind, what being a teenage boy is like than something like, say, the recent 3 live-action John Watts Spider-Man movies. So I liked it a lot. I also think it's very stunningly animated. I really like the show. I really like the movie in terms of animation as well. I was very impressed with that. Sorry, Jack.
No, I think that was a great lead up. That was a great, a great setup, because I do think there are really good moments to Chainsaw Man, which is most of my frustration is that it came so close to something I would genuinely enjoy. Like, I only watch a handful of anime, and there's even fewer that I like genuinely enjoy. Things like One Punch Man, things like Dan Dan, which I know we've talked about here before. Things like Delicious in Dungeon, I think are really wonderful and beautiful. And generally speaking, when it comes to things in this category, what I am looking for is either for it to be very fun or for it to say something. And now my biggest critique of Chainsaw Man, not enough chainsaw. For as little as I think the show actually says, I think, Darren, you are being very generous by saying this is like a commentary on, teenage boys' feelings about their bodies.
I also got a separate page on late capitalism, Jack, but we can get to that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, and I think there are nuggets, there are kernels of that. Obviously, like our protagonist is living in abject poverty. Like, we start the series off with him having just sold his eyeball.
He's listing the prices of like his testicle and his kidney and stuff. And like, he is a literal chainsaw. He is a tool. He is a physical object that is used for a specific purpose. Sorry,
no. I think that's part of the thing that got me so excited watching this, is like, oh my God, this will have an immense amount of things to say, and then it just doesn't. Like, as far as his fantasies, his sexualization fantasies with the women in his life, while he's also being abused, he's being sexually abused by his boss. Yep. Is some very fascinating kernels of ideas, and none of them are expanded on. And then on the other side of that, there's just not enough chainsawing to make
That's
it.
insane. I feel like there's a ton of chainsawing.
See the chainsaw.
This is just from my perspective, of course. And so like it hits that zone in between, in between a dumbness that I love, like a Reacher, and something that is, I think, saying something about society, about ourselves, about like the protagonist, even like in a One Punch Man, where they kind of they wear their heart on their sleeve there, and it's just like, no, we are just talking about what is our purpose in life, what do we want to do with our gifts, that sort of thing. And Chainsaw Man never quite lands it for me. Some fantastic sequences, a lot of fun here and there, but at the end of the day, it was like this, and then like you said, it was the perviness,
yes,
the perviness, that permeates Yes,
perviates, if you will. Yes.
Just made me feel bad for watching it, especially after we find out how young our protagonist is.
Yeah.
And then after we find out how young he is, he gets taken advantage of again by a colleague. It's like everything's pervy, and I don't like watching this. I feel bad for watching this.
Do not continue watching it because it only gets worse in that regard. But I do believe it starts really hammering the message as it goes on, like towards the end of part 1, which will probably be in the second season of the show, and then I'm assuming part 1 will end with a second film. But it is one of those, like, if you are not on board right now, do not do not continue.
It's not going to suddenly change around and like embrace like Sondheim and like Sontag and like second wave feminism. Like that is the thing where it's like, I think it is using that stuff to say something, which to me is slightly better than just using that stuff where, like, you mentioned the idea that it opens with him listing the price of his body parts. This is a show about, but it is a show about the idea the human body is a commodity under capitalism. You have one of the demon hunters in the hotel say quite literally, like, it was either demon hunting or sex work. Those were my two options.
Right.
And you have, like, the women throughout the show are, like, using their bodies in the same way that Shenji is. They are mortgaging a kiss. They are mortgaging a touching of their boobs. They're mortgaging sex in return for getting what they want. And it's like, that is still, how you're doing it is still incredibly pervy, and it still makes me uncomfortable. And it still feels like you are trying to enjoy the thing while also critiquing the thing, which is in some ways more cynical than just enjoying the thing in the first place. But also, like, there is a purpose there, and there is a point that you're making where, like, Denji's body is an object or a tool. He literally turns into a chainsaw. It is the idea that, like, the zombie monster that appears in the first episode and appears towards the end of the season as well, which is obviously zombies are always a metaphor for capitalism, but the idea of, like, reducing human bodies into tradable commodities. Like, I think it is saying stuff. I think it has ideas and is smart, and that's what I like about it. But I do also think we could maybe use the word boobs maybe like 1 in 5 of the amount of times the show does.
Like, control F it. It's like when you finish a written piece and you control F, you're like, oh man, I use the same word a ton.
Yeah,
right. We have any synonyms?
Right. I mean, I also don't feel like if it's like breasts or mammaries would make it any more wholesome. It's like,
Right. It's like all of those ideas are there, and they just do nothing to expand on them. And I'm not looking at the chat, and what I'm probably seeing, what I'm probably not seeing is the chat saying they're getting there, they're getting to that, and it's too late. It's too late.
You lost me. I'm already out. You Orville me, baby. You Orville me.
I think it is a cilantro thing. Not even a cilantro. It is, do you want to watch a story about someone whose, like, humanity is stripped down and who becomes a almost literal dog to someone? And in his mind is like, well, this is better than what I had before, because all I wanted was a piece of bread and the slightest amount of warmth from another human being.
He's working on
and if
Maslow's,
I get that,
like,
I don't care what I become.
Maslow's like pyramid of needs. Like it's not subtle. It's like he's beginning with shelter and then he's moving to like love and affection. Like it's a coming of age story, but it's the idea of like coming of age is impossible under capitalism, which is maybe a point that ties into like the postmodernism of the show, where it's just constantly referencing other things and other culture and other movies and stuff like that, because you can't develop your own ideas. You can't become your own person. You can't self-actualize because your pyramid of needs are not being met. Like, Denji doesn't have a bed, he doesn't have a house. And when he does have a bed and he does have a house, he doesn't have love. And it's like, so he is working his way up. And it's like, it sounds like I'm giving the show a lot of credit, perhaps, but I do think it's there. I just also wish that it was less like boob focused. Like there's a sequence in there is a sequence in like the movie, right? Which I really like the movie, and I think the movie does smart things with the character of Reze as well. But it also like very clearly objectifies her to the point where like at one stage her face is just a blank bomb and her body is basically naked. And there's also a sequence where like Denji just imagines the women of the show in sexy lingerie poses, and I'm like, you can't critique the thing and do the thing unironically. You pick one. Like,
watch me. jumps into the deep end.
I'm trying to remember.
I completely agree with that.
I'm trying to remember. We have had this very same discussion, and I'm trying to remember the specific. We had this very same discussion with Deadpool and Wolverine. Like you cannot say if this was a stupid action movie they would do this and then just do that as a way of getting away with doing that. You have to. Thank you, Eric, for that.
Those actual controls, those don't look ergonomic at all. Those look incredibly uncomfortable.
Right, and so this is my problem.
Might you have arthritis? It's because I use the Deadpool butt cam.
Yeah. So yeah, this is my problem with Chainsaw Man is it lives in that area in between the two things I like, never fully glomming onto one of them.
Yeah. I will say I really like the idea that that society's fears manifested into these devils, and that the more society becomes afraid of something, the more powerful that devil becomes. And after like a mass shooting in New York, the gun devil suddenly appears and is able to wipe out like 1 million people in 15 seconds. Like I think that is like a very cool. There's a future devil because people are afraid of the future. There's just like chainsaws people are afraid of, knives people are afraid of. That
yes. Yeah.
Like it's a very well, like I do like the show. I feel like we fixated on the perviness as like the one angle of the show I don't like. I think it's a very clever show. I think it's very well written. I do end up caring a great deal for Denji in the same way I end up caring for like Shenji in Neon Genesis Evangelion, where this is like a traumatized, scarred kid. Mm-hmm. And it's like, he is kind of the worst, but he's a kid, so it's not his fault. You could get away with a kid being the worst person in the world because it's not a kid's job to be a functioning person, right? It's not a kid's responsibility to do that. So I have like a great deal of sympathy for Denji and even for Shenji in Neon Genesis Evangelion that I would not have if they were in their 30s, that I would not have even if they were in their 20s. I do think the show is like, it is about this idea of just like drifting through a world that has kind of failed these kids in a way that, to my point about like Spider-Man, to my point about superheroes, like it does feel like what kids and teenagers like resonated with like 1960s like Stan Lee Marvel comic books was the idea of seeing themselves reflected in this, of seeing like characters who were dealing with the stuff that they were dealing with like day in and day out, of like seeing a kid who was struggling to pay the mortgage for his aunt, or was trying to get the homework done, or was trying to catch the attention of the girl in class, or was dealing with like his best friend who is rich and he isn't, like those anxieties which are very real and very grounded and which don't really come through in modern superhero stuff, whether in comics or whether in films, because all that stuff is now heavily nostalgia based, and it's aimed at people like me who have people like me problems, where like so much of the modern Marvel movies are like, hey, our character is having a midlife crisis about having a child, and I'm like, maybe I can relate to that, but I don't know a 14-year-old can. And I look at something like Chainsaw Man, I'm like, that actually feels like something that if I were 14 years old, I would kind of connect with it. It would feel a lot, because all the stuff that we're talking about, that is drawback, which is like the perviness stuff, or the ultra-violent stuff, or the noisy stuff, or the referencing of stuff. It's all stuff that when you're 14 years old is like quite exciting and cool and a little bit dangerous. So you're kind of drawn to it. I have a soft spot. I liked it a lot, I will say.
I also recommended this to, excuse me, to Darren, and I would recommend this to you as well, Jack. The same creator, Fujimoto, did a short manga that is turned into an animated movie. It's only 60 minutes long, and it's called Look Back, and it's the opposite of Chainsaw Man. It is about two young manga artists and their kind of parallel paths entering the industry, and they drift apart and kind of what happens after that. And it is beautiful, and it is devastating, and it's 60 minutes long, and I genuinely think you'll really enjoy it. It is extremely different from this. It's almost, you would not be able to tell it's from the same creator.
Love this art style is what I'll say right off the bat. Yeah.
It's also really great. So give that one a bit.
They've begun doing like collections of like his early like manga stuff or his early kind of Shonen Jump stuff as like anthologies, right? As well. Like there are like anime.
It's one of those like, once he blew up with Chainsaw Man, it's like, okay, well,
what have we got in the back catalog? Yeah, 27-year-old kid. Like, the Chalamet-esque punk. Like, because that's what this is. This is like if Chalamet did a manga. Like, it's like you're gonna get stupid stuff like opera and ballet are irrelevant in like manga form, you know?
Yeah. What if Chalamet, after he said "fuck the ballet," just went and like ripped his chainsaw cord?
Right.
Now we're talking.
Do you think he'll do that if he doesn't get the Oscar on like Sunday or whatever? Like,
if he loses to Wagner Moura, it just goes nuts.
I feel like, yeah, that's fair, actually. Probably like Leo is the only one he can lose to and actually pull the cord. Otherwise, it looks a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan is like his contemporary, and so he would be upset at that. Yeah. Yeah, very good. There you go. That was Weeb Corner. Look at that.
We did it. I talked about anime.
We did it. We talked about anime. What do we want to do more super chats now, or do we want to go on to Scream 7 and then all the rest of the stuff we've been watching?
A handful of super chats and then Scream 7. I don't know how long the Scream 7 chat will last, so
my input is I didn't like it, and maybe we can give some recos of modern slasher movies that people should check out instead.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Back to super chats. Jonathan Griffin, thank you so much for the $10 dono. Because these are never long enough, I'm finishing season 5 of my first time through Deep Space Nine, and I'm really loving it. I was curious how Jack's journey is going. He had to stop because of Chainsaw Man.
I had to stop because
Deep Space Nine DVDs and threw them into the ocean.
Just moved them over. I have not had a chance to watch any. One, because of Chainsaw Man. Two, I have to. We have a plan for Adventures Now, so I actually have a schedule to keep now. So
we have an internal date for when season 5 will premiere.
Which just means some later nights editing and that kind of thing for me. Which unfortunately, so I have not progressed much further. I think last time we checked in, I was just getting I was midway through season 3, and I believe that's where I am still. I'd have to go and check the DVD, which is still sitting out. I did not even put it back in the case. I took it out of my PS5, and I was like, "Oh, I'll get back to this in a minute." Now it's collecting dust, and it's that Christmas time is here. Sad music plays every time I pass
George
it.
Michael looking down, being sad.
Yeah. I do love, by the way, that Eric is in the chat saying, I'm not against a 90-minute episode. It's like, I'm also not against pigs flying, Eric, but I don't think this is going to happen. Sorry.
Eric, what I loved yesterday is on Windbreaker yesterday, we were talking, our topic was second screen games you could zone out to. And at one point, I look down into the fourth corner, and I just see uninterrupted Resident Evil 9 gameplay, and finally it dawns on me, I'm like, Eric, have you just been playing a game this whole time as your second screen? And he was. It's genuinely one of the great meta goofs.
One of the great fits.
Also, really important. I don't know if you guys saw the big news this morning. Hideo Kojima is rewatching the X-Files. Yeah. So just big news.
Great.
Yeah. He had thoughts on
the Googler show.
He had thoughts on season 6, episode 14, Monday, and season 7, episode 3, Hungry. He enjoyed both of them. Monday for the time loop aspect, and Hungry because it was like Columbo from the monster's point of view.
Well, the big twist of Hungry is that, obviously, slight spoilers for it. It is the episode about the shark, but it's from the shark's perspective. It's the monster of the week from the perspective of the monster, in which Mulder and Scully are therefore the monster because they're the people who are coming to catch the monster.
Yeah.
God, love that show so much. Almost should write a book about it.
I thought you were going to say I love Kojima, and I was going to be like, I do too.
I do love I've never interacted with Kojima in any meaningful way, but it seems like my kind of guy.
Seems great.
I love Kojima. I genuinely dislike most of his games, but I love that much like David Lynch, where it's not for me. This is not for me, but I love it that you're out there. We
could use more artists like this who are just unabashedly into the stuff they're into.
Yeah.
Pure Pyro, thank you so much. A €2 dono. Thoughts on Fright Night, the original and the remake?
Like both of them. Actually, really like the remake. Yeah.
That was with
Anton Yelchin and Imogen Poots. Imogen Poots, by the way, is a great title for a children's book. Everybody Poots. But I do. Sorry.
Is this Wolfman's Got Nards?
That's Monster Squad, right?
Monster Squad. Yeah. Fright Night is the one with Chris Sarandon, right? Where Chris Sarandon is the vampire, or is that Monster Squad as well? Am I getting the two confused? But Fright Night is the one with
still
Colin
laughing
Farrell.
at the Poots joke, and then you immediately apologize.
She's a good person, and she doesn't deserve that. I feel like she's if your name is Imogen Poots and you lived 35 years of your life, you've probably heard enough Poots jokes to sustain you. Particularly if you're British as well. It's sure. I'm just going to the water closet to Poots. But yes, it's a very, very good cast. Incredibly game cast. I had really charmed by it. It does feel like it went under the radar. Who directed that one? It's not Craig Gillespie, is it? And I have a sneaking suspicion that is directed by somebody who I think is secretly quite good and who doesn't necessarily get the plaudits that he deserves.
Craig Gillespie has a new movie coming out. What is
he does? A Supergirl.
Supergirl. That's right. It was.
It is Craig Gillespie.
Holland.
Tom Holland directed the original.
Okay, not the Tom Holland we're thinking of.
That would be quite impressive if Tom Holland, who I'm guessing would have been 8 years old at the time,
possibly not even born. If we're gonna be honest.
The Fright Night remake as well, where it's like I have a vision. Darling.
It was right after he was dancing, right? Because he was
he did the umbrella dance. And
then no, he was in what dancing movie?
Oh, Billy Elliot.
He was Billy Elliot, right? That was Tom Holland.
Bell. That's Jamie Bell.
No, Tom Holland could have also been Billy Elliot. Two people could be Billy Elliot. That's how the opera works, Darren. If you would know. I don't think Billy Elliot's an opera. All I know about opera is I might spend a lot of money to go to New York to see this Final Fantasy.
Marty, one, it's a business expense. Do it.
Business expense. Two, there's good pizza out there.
Two, if you don't go see this opera, I will personally be mad at you.
You're right, by the way. He was on London's West End at the age of 12, which explains why he didn't direct the Fright Night remake. He was too busy being on London's West End. That is fair. We'll accept that as an answer.
We need more baby directors. We need like Doogie Howser directors.
Right?
I think the guy who's directing the Backrooms movie is very young. I think he's like.
Well, he's the guy who did the YouTube videos, right?
Yeah.
And it's like Duet Eligio 4, and who's the female lead of it? Like it's like an actual imagine being like 23 years old and being like Duet Eligio 4, one of the greatest actors of your generation. I have some notes on your performance.
It's Renate Redensvey from The Worst Person in the World.
And also Sentimental Value, right? She's Oscar nominated for Sentimental Value.
Yeah. Mark Duplass, Finn Bennett. I'm going to stop naming them. It was produced by Sean Levy. We love him. Yeah. We love a Sean Levy. Nights at the Museum. Deadpool Wolverine.
Real Steel, legitimately good.
Have you seen Steel?
No, Real Steel is.
Real Steel legitimately good.
You guys are trying to trick me because I made Jack watch Chainsaw Man.
Robots punching each other. It's great.
Rock'em Robot movie with Hugh Jackman. It is honestly like I went in with no expectations, and I was like, that surpassed my expectations. It's
over the top, but with punching robots. It was great. It was fucking great.
There's a montage of like Hugh Jackman doing like boxing with the robot behind him mimicking his moves. It's set to like I think it's just like a Rocky-esque theme, and I'm like, this is just perfect. This is cinema, is what.
No one gives Real Steel enough love. Agreed.
Yeah.
Jonathan Griffin. It's a $5 dodo.
You're not leaving until we talk about Sean Levy's Sitting Shiva movie, This Is Where I Leave You, starring Tina Fey, Adam Driver, Jason Bateman.
That's not real.
That sounds
Call
amazing.
my bluff, Marty. Call my bluff.
Isn't he? He's doing the Ryan Gosling Star Wars movie too, right? Star Wars Starfighter.
Yeah,
that's too many stars in that title. You shouldn't have 2 stars in your title.
Unfortunately, it's not called This Is Where I Leave You, alas. But yeah, no, This Is Where I Leave You. It has an absolutely stunning cast. So yeah, it's Jason Bateman, Tina Fey, Adam Driver, Jane Fonda, Rose Byrne, Connie Britton, Catherine Hahn, Corey Stoll, and Abigail Spencer, all of whom clearly are related to one another. You put those people in a room, and like that is definitely one family that shares the same gene pool, right?
I mean, by all accounts, he seems like he's probably a delight to work with, which is why he keeps. That's kind of like you've talked about this with the with like the Flash with Andy Muschietti of like he's gonna get all these opportunities because he's probably very nice to work with and just says yes. And the people who signed the checks, like he says yes, so he's not.
And the movie gets
causing
made. Like that's the thing. It's like if you haven't made a Star Wars movie in like 7 years, and he shows up as like, I can make a Star Wars movie. He gets the job. Like, there's no second question in that interview. It's just like, can you do it? It's like, It's like, great. You start on Monday. Yeah.
You've seen me work with egos, with big budgets, with special effects. I finish the thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. I make the Free Guy. I don't know if he did Free Guy. It very much feels like he did Free Guy.
Yeah,
we love a free guy here. Jonathan Griffin, apologies, you're back. Also, I started the Grant Morrison Batman run. I'm finding it interesting, and I wanted to hear Darren's thoughts on the run. This is not a 90-minute episode.
Marty, start the clock. 2 minutes on this.
I don't have a clock. Eric has to start the clock. Eric, do you have the clock?
Okay.
2 minutes.
All right. 2 minutes. Here we go. So yeah, no, Grant Morrison's Batman run is like one of my favorite comic book runs of all time. It is interesting because it's one of the first comic book runs I read, and I would not recommend reading it as your first comic book run, but it's basically an idea to fashion the entire history of Batman into a single cohesive narrative. So it's like it takes a view that every Batman story ever happened, depending on like no matter whether it was the Golden Age, the Silver Age, or the Bronze Age, it all happened. It's all true in continuity, out of continuity. So yes, Batman went to other planets in the 50s. Yes, Batman briefly dated a character named Batwoman who disappeared to prove he was absolutely straight and nothing inappropriate was happening with Robin during the 1950s. Yes, Batman also like had a child out of wedlock with like Ra's al Ghul's daughter, like he did in that throwaway annual. But the idea is that like all of this happens, and so like Morrison's run is basically what would that mean for the character of Batman to be a person who has experienced all of that life in its totality. And it is an absolutely stunning, incredible run that is just one of my favorite bits of comic books like ever written. And I will say the first act for me is kind of rough. The second act, which is his run on their run on Batman and Robin, with like Frank Quitely doing the art, is one of the best Batman comics ever written. Would wholeheartedly recommend it. Just an incredible run. Won't get into the spoilers for it. The final act of it as well, which is Batman Inc., which is the idea of like Bruce Wayne trying to spread Batman beyond Gotham and trying to build a bigger Batman, trying to like expand and grow and escape the trauma of Batman, while Grant Morrison grapples with the existential like panic of realizing that comic books cannot change. And that as much as like Grant Morrison, no, but like it is like a real metafictional work from Morrison, where Morrison goes through this crisis in the early 2010s of being like, I have spent my life loving comic books and writing comic books and celebrating comic books as an art form. And I'm kind of realizing that comic books don't love me back because they're not like an artist-centric medium. They're not like a creator-centric medium. All the toys that I have done, all the work I've done will be brushed aside and thrown away by the next line-wide reboot, or they'll be given to somebody who doesn't care, or somebody who... And I'm out.
You know what?
It's also about their parents' divorce, which is stunning. It's like
the thing I'm worried about is there's several comics questions left. I feel like we should have bunched them all and been rapid.
Here's what I'll say. Eric, love the buzzer. I think we need a more gentle, like maybe a ding, like just a ding instead of a buzzer.
No, it stops me mid-sentence, which is what you
legitimately
need.
scared.
Didn't have the clock ready, but we'll have it for future Comic Corners.
Okay,
and
great.
I feel like we're going to give you probably 45 seconds next time because there's a lot. Of
we're tightening this.
Cody Bishop, thank you so much for a $5 dono. I recommend a horror movie called Whistle. On the surface, it appears to be a generic wish upon like, but it's actually better than it has any right to be. I don't know anything about this
movie with this is the one from this year starring Daphne Keane, is it?
Correct. It is.
That's like the death whistle.
Yes. Yeah, it's a death whistle.
There's an Aztec death whistle in like a school in Detroit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was not usually fond of it, unfortunately, alas.
Oh, okay. Damn. So Whistle did not work.
Yeah, it didn't really wet my whistle, as it were. Yeah, a bit disappointed.
First of all, hey Marty, let's just say Marty, that was a really great pun.
Okay,
yeah,
really this feels like charity.
Really,
yeah, I know. Yeah,
this feels like charity.
I wasn't too Daphne Keane on it myself, I have to say.
Oh, that was good. I like that. That was good. Let's talk about Scream.
Great,
Darren, what'd you think of Scream?
Very bad, no good, don't do it, didn't like it. It's very bad. Like, okay, so like the thing about Scream 7, and it is impossible to talk about Scream 7 without talking about like the background material of it. And you see a lot of people who like Scream 7 being like, why do you have to talk about the production history of Scream 7 when you talk about Scream 7? And it's like, these are metafictional horror movies about horror movies. And as they've gone on, like every franchise in Hollywood, they become about themselves. Like it begins as a critique of horror movies and evolves into a critique and conversation about itself. Where without getting into spoilers, without revealing the identity of the killer in question, the central motivation of the killer in Scream 7, which is revealed, by the way, early on in the movie, is that they're really pissed that Neve Campbell was not in Scream 6. Neve Campbell was not in Scream 6 because they refused to pay her enough money to appear in Scream 6, but they then fired the lead of Scream 6, and then the second lead of Scream 6 walked off because she had better things to be doing with her time, so they rolled up a dump truck full of money to Neve Campbell's house, and so Scream 7 is basically about, yeah, well, what about Sidney Prescott? Surely it's all about Sidney Prescott. And, like, to the point where, like, the big rules monologue, which is part of, like, the Scream franchise, which is delivered here by the actress, is it Yasmin? I can't remember her surname, but she's the one from Yellow Jackets. She plays Mindy. Yeah. But she's very good. But like she delivers the monologue, the rules monologue, and the rules monologue in this movie is basically, don't worry about it. This isn't really a movie. This isn't really a slasher being conducted by horror movie fans. This is a slasher movie being conducted by Neve Campbell fans. I mean, Sidney Prescott fans. I definitely said Sidney Prescott. That's what I meant, right? And the idea is that it becomes a horror movie about like how Neve Campbell is going to be making Scream movies until the day that she dies, because rabid fans will demand it, and because the industry needs it, and because these movies made a shed load of money, and because eventually audiences are going to reject or turn their back on, or the producers are going to refuse to pay, or will fire anybody who tries to replace Neve Campbell. And we talked about it with Chainsaw Man, that kind of like paradox of the doing the thing while critiquing the thing, which is that like this movie is very obviously textually critiquing the idea of nostalgia. The opening kill sequence, which I actually do quite like, and apparently was dropped into the movie late in production when they realized they did not have an opening scene, and they were like it's proper old school studio filmmaking. They realized they did not have an opening scene for the movie, and they're like, who have we got under contract? So one of the daughters from Landman, which is a Paramount TV show, they basically like dropped her in for a day to do Scream 7 instead, which is kind of incredible. But basically the opening scene has the house from the climax of the original Scream movie, the climax of Scream 5, or 5 Cream, or whatever you want to call it, just Scream.
We don't have to call it 5 Cream.
5 Creep turns into an Airbnb. Yes, it turns into like an experiential B&B, but it ends with the burning down of that. And like so much of the movie is textually about the idea of the fans who just want to be stuck in the nostalgic past and who just want Neve Campbell to keep coming back and doing Scream sequels. They're monsters and they're evil, and we shouldn't listen to them and we shouldn't give them what they want, while the movie gives them exactly what they want. The movie's like, you know what's awful? Fan service? Well, just tell you to open your mouth as it pours the fan service down your throat. It is like so cynical.
It has the worst example of, I bet you wanted to know how Han Solo got his dice since then. And it's her daughter comes downstairs one morning and she's wearing a leather jacket, and she's like, Ma, I found this leather jacket in the attic. And Neve Campbell's like, put it away. You can't wear that. And then it's like, oh, this was the iconic jacket she wore in one of the earlier Scream movies, and it triggers her PTSD. And I'm like,
not even Scream.
Who
in Scream 2
remembers that? It's just a leather jacket. Like,
but in Scream 2, like it's not even like the leather jacket from Scream. It's the leather jacket from Scream 2, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad movie.
And that's without getting into like the cast. Like we won't talk about with spoilers, or maybe we will in a moment, but like there are choices this movie makes in terms of casting and in terms of like callbacks to things, where the movie is structured to be a critique of a certain kind of nostalgia and a certain kind of culture and a certain dead end of culture, while also just telling you to open your gullet and swallow as it like just shoves it down your throat. It is so relentlessly cynical, and the fact that like it is so successful just kind of makes it even more galling, because it just means they're going to keep doing it, and they're going to pretend to be outraged by it. They're going to pretend like the movies are going to be about how awful this thing is that they're doing, while they continue to choose to do it. It is very depressing. Like as where cinema is as an art form, I found myself just really depressed by it.
Maybe when a series gets to 7, we shouldn't keep doing it.
That's when it needs to go to space.
That would be fun. Scream in space.
Scream in space. Like,
The problem is Jason already beat like Scream to all the best ideas, where like Scream 6 was Ghostface Does Manhattan in Toronto, which like Jason already beat them to. So like I feel like if they do space, like you're just following Jason's coattails at this point.
100%. Why not? They're great coattails to follow.
I'll make a new Friday the 13th movie. Someone else should pick up that mask,
right?
The torch. Yeah.
The machete.
The machete, yeah. And the problem is this made a lot of money, so we're probably going to get a Scream 8.
Yeah.
It was, you mentioned this in your piece, but like they did kind of strike gold with 5 Cream, particularly with its cast of future Academy Award nominees, future Academy Award winners. Jenna Ortega, who's just crazy famous, friend of the show, Jack Quaid. I don't know if he counts as friend of the show, but Mikey Madsen, Oscar winners.
Transitive property. But like Mikey Madsen, who went on to win an Oscar. You have like the cast of Yellow Jacks. You got like Mason Gooding in there as well, who's like just incredibly charming. Marissa Barrera, who I think is a very good final girl and like does really well in like Abigail and stuff like that. Like it is an all-timer cast, and it is like so frustrating that is just squandered. Like I don't even like Scream 6. I think Scream 6 is bad, because like what Scream 6 does is it just completely drops the meta element and just turns into a standard slasher movie. And it's like, if I want that, I would watch any slasher movie that is in Scream. And like the climax of Scream 6 takes place in a museum to the Scream franchise. And I'm like, I feel like that's just a little bit too much. And then Scream 7 is like, hold my beer. It is like, and it's so frustrating because so much of like Scream 7 is like really passive aggressive towards Scream 6. Because like not only are the killer's like motivation being Neve Campbell wasn't in Scream 6, therefore it doesn't count. It's not a real Scream adventure. But like even like Courtney Cox as Gail Weathers, who did appear in Scream 6 and did get a nice pay bump for it, is like, you didn't really miss much on that last Scream movie, Nev. Don't worry about it too much. It is like, and it's like, you can do that. Like, I'm not like tied to Scream 6. I don't think Scream 6 is a sacred cow. But if you're gonna do that, the obligation is on you to make a better Scream movie. Like, you can't piss down on somebody while you're underneath them. It's just not physically possible.
Yep. No, it's not. That's true. Now that I think about it.
Sorry, I'm not really very elegant. I'm going to blame.
No, I liked it. Listen, I like Flu Darren. Flu Darren's taken us to some weird places. Would you guys have any recommendations for better slasher movies that people might not have seen? You know, whether recent or kind of just under the radar ones. I know we talked on the show. This is kind of more of a if Terrence Malick did a slasher movie, but in a violent nature, which much like Hideo Kojima's favorite X-Files episode, is kind of from the point of view of the monster who crawls out of the lake, and it just slowly follows him.
Right?
It is, which we probably don't need a sequel to that. You don't need to do that. Just do another movie. But
I was like, I do kind of want to see like the Jason-esque sequels where he goes to space from his point of view. I want to see like the sad astronaut space movie, the sad astronaut Jason space movie,
right?
Where he just stands on the moon and throws his machete into like one of the dark pits in slow motion as like Max Richter's on the Nature of Daylight plays in the background.
That sounds great. And then in terms of more kind of concept-driven ones, I really liked Freaky and Happy Death Day. Freaky, which is the body swap kind of Freaky Friday take on it, and Happy Death Day, which is the time loop take on it.
And like Happy Death Day 2 as well, which is really interesting because it just escalates the again, it does the thing that sequels do, which is just ranks up the meta-ness of it, where the concept goes from being like charming to being so absurdly convoluted that it becomes a parody of itself, which I quite like. I do want to shout out like Strange Harvest. Like, it's really interesting that we're shouting out slasher movies. We're not shouting out really conventional slasher movies. All of these are like unconventional slasher movies, where, as you say, they're combining Freaky Friday and like a slasher movie, or they're combining Groundhog Day and a slasher movie, or they're Terrence Malick directs a slasher movie. Strange Darling, which I quite liked as well, which is like unconventionally structured one, which has like a really good idea at its core, or even like Strange Harvest, which I really liked, which is a like a mockumentary like slasher movie, which is not something that should work, and the movie runs into real problems in its third act, in that it's very hard to do a conventional slasher movie ending in the style of like a talking head Netflix mockumentary, but it's really interesting and really well constructed. So all of those I would recommend. I feel bad that I don't have a more conventional one though. Like, I wish I liked Is It Like Heart Eyes better, but I did not like Heart Eyes.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, we watched for Phoenix Tier Movie Night Werewolf Within, which is not necessarily a good slasher movie, but we can probably sneak in there under the umbrella of slasher movies.
Yeah, but that speaking to like what Darren said, it is that, but it is a slasher but Clue. That's kind of what that movie is. So it is the taking it somewhere else. You said Wolf of Snow Hollow. Wolf of Snow Hollow. That's the one, which is the guy Jim Cummings Road, right?
Yes. It asks, look, guys, look, just for the moment that we're in, I think culturally, it asks a very important question, which is like, what if, and hear me out here, what if Silence of the Lambs, but for men? Because men don't get movies. Men don't get stories told about them.
Men don't get anime. Men don't get movies. Men don't get anything.
They don't get to be the center of culture. But like, it's a really genuinely clever idea, which is basically, what if we took Silence of the Lambs and made it about a man? What would like the male equivalent of Silence of the Lambs be? It is so much fun. Jim Cummings is incredible. Like, one of the great writers of like masculine anxiety.
Yeah, he's great. Excellent. That was Scream 7. Jack, what have you been watching? Anything on your plate?
Just a couple things. In lieu of watching an Oscar-nominated movie, I reached into the back catalog and watched a rom-com that I didn't necessarily remember. I just remember that Mark Ruffalo wants to fuck a ghost.
I know this one, yes.
And in the movie, the movie Just Like Heaven, starring Mark Ruffalo and Reese Witherspoon, in which as everyone knows, I love a rom-com. There's a couple rules to rom-coms, and in a rom-com, the protagonists have to get together in the end. They have to, they dislike each other at first. They slowly build up a relationship. They have some sort of falling out in which the relationship breaks up, and they have to get together in the end. But the premise of Just Like Heaven is Mark Ruffalo's apartment is haunted by a ghost. How do they get together in the end? Oh, I'll never tell. You'll have to watch it.
Jack, can I ask again? Sorry, Marty loves it when I do this. When I'm like, Jack has a film theory and Darren has some questions on it because this is going to lead to interesting. How about like my best friend? Really, we can do another 20 minutes on Floppy Dong and like Forgetting Sarah Marshall if you want, Marty.
Please.
But in terms of this theory, how does something like My Best Friend's Wedding hold up?
Ooh, my best friend's wedding is a very good rom-com. And I'm trying to remember the ending to My Best Friend's Wedding.
She's like she dances with Rupert Everett as the gay best friend. That's it. That's the ending of the movie. She does like the ending of that movie was the original draft was she met somebody at the end of that movie, just a random person, and they had a spark and they got hooked up together. And the audience was like, no fucking way. Like it was one of those great, like the test audience is like, no, that woman is fucking evil and she must die alone. There must be some cosmic atonement for everything she has done over the course of the movie. So she dances at the end with her gay best friend. So like there is not even a hint of like a happy romantic ending.
But I suppose the entire premise of that movie is very much a subversion of the rom-com, right? Because it's not them, the couple that she is trying to break up are significantly better than her. So that's more interesting. So we would probably line this up under parody. More parody.
I like that you have a board. I like that there's a board already for this theory.
There's got to be a board. So this is parody-esque, unless the relationship that she ends up with is like, hey, we are just friends, and we're going to be comfortable with just being friends, and that's how we end up together at the end. Which we can count that. But Mark Ruffalo wants to fuck a ghost in Just Like Heaven. They have to get together in the end because that's how rom-coms work. And it's interesting.
Jack, I just want to revisit your observation about like, was it The Shape of Water, where you're like, can't get on board with The Shape of Water because that one was a fuck that fish.
Yeah.
So ghost fucking you can get on board with.
Here's my problem. Is not that she wanted to fuck a fish. I have no problem if a lady wants to fuck a fish. I want to know why she wants to fuck the fish.
Okay.
She never explains why she wants to fuck that fish.
The heart wants what the heart wants, Jack.
I know Mark Ruffalo talks a lot about why he wants to fuck that ghost.
Is it because he saw Ghostbusters and there's that one scene where
that made an impression?
Dan Aykroyd gets a blowjob. He's like,
right? What? And so it's like, no, I got no problem with fish fucking. I just want to know why.
Yeah.
It's the why.
Yeah. You demand narrative consistency.
I just want narrative consistency.
Yeah.
I just want, it's because she's different and feels so alone. Oh, except for her super best friend neighbor who she hangs out with all the time and her other best friend who got her the job. She's got people in her life. She doesn't need to fuck that fish. Why she want to fuck that fish? The other thing, the other movie I watched, which is going to be part of my to be or not to be.
'Tis the question.
Which we are expanding. So to be or not to be is about finding ways to get free or cheap movies. A movie that I found on DVD at my local library was the 1974 British movie called Psychomania. About it is a British movie made in the 70s about a biker gang who strikes a deal with the devil in order to become an undead biker gang and wreak havoc on a small village. Found at my local library.
Was it good?
No.
Not to get ahead of our recommendation section.
No. It was interesting. Psychomania is a lovely example. So, a big part of my life is B movies, is bad movies. So bad, they're good movies. And the problem in living this life of mine is like you see this DVD cover, like you see the still image of these people with the skull and crossbones helmets. And you say to yourself, this is ripe for the so bad it's good plucking. Everything about this movie is like, this is a gem. I've never heard of it. It does have I want to say it has a bigger like Blu-ray release somewhere, but it's like, oh, I've never heard of this. It seems like an interesting premise. This could be that diamond in the rough. And sometimes a B movie is just a fucking bad movie, and that's all this is.
Sometimes that's what the B stands for. Exactly.
Sometimes that's what the B stands for. So, you know, a hazard of the job sometimes is you just end up watching really bad, low budget movies from the 70s.
I started writing that down for the pinned comment and I accidentally wrote Psycho Mantis, which is the name of one of the villains in Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Still thinking about Kojima, if I'm going to be honest. Always thinking about Kojima. Psychomania. There you go. To be or not to be.
Yep. Found at my local library.
Go to your library. Everyone get a library card. Your libraries are great. Also, most people work at libraries. Very nice. There you go. Timothy Chalamet probably also hates the library, so it's
fuck Timothy Chalamet.
Anything else, Jack?
Literally no, because it was killed.
It was Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, because Chainsaw Man just killed all your enthusiasm.
You chained, you saw, you conquered. The only other thing I've been watching this week outside of rewatching all those Oscar movies plus Scream 7, I rewatched season 1 of One Piece on Netflix, the live action One Piece. Rewatched it because season 2 dropped today. It is out now. I'm excited to watch it tonight. I think that show's delightful. You know, despite being a pretty, I am a lapsed anime fan, so I'm catching up on a lot of stuff. I have never watched or read One Piece. My introduction to it was the live action Netflix series. And as a fan of pirate adventures and as a fan of casts that feel like a good hang, you know, where you can almost like you can sense they're having a good time through the screen, this show hits it for me. I love every episode feels like another little bit of a pirate adventure. The crew that they gobble together is like absolutely delightful. By the end of the first season,
Curtis is in there, isn't she?
Yeah. Oh, in the second season, she's going to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dustin Damelchian. Ooh, I got to learn how to say that guy's name. He's in a lot of stuff. He's got a very difficult to pronounce name, though. So, I thought that first season was delightful, and it's one of those things where the anime itself and the manga itself is can feel overwhelming. Over 1,000 issues / episodes, understandably overwhelming. This thing was like 8 episodes. I think it's delightful. It's one of those things that to me hits all the dots. Like I could recommend this. I feel like I could recommend it to my mom and she might like it. I enjoyed that and I'm looking forward to season 2.
Yeah. Agreed.
Lovely. Darren, what have you been watching?
Just to run through some stuff that is kind of like relatively contemporary and like in cinemas right now. The How to Make a Killing, which is the remake of Kind Hearts and Coronets starring Glenn Powell, had a pretty good time with that. It's fine. It falls into like the trap of a lot of these kinds of movies, which is that, you know, it is an eat the rich movie where it's like, don't you really feel bad for the people who are trapped in this like world of wealth and like privilege and comfort? I'm like, I don't know if I do feel that bad for them. I don't know if I do feel like it's worse for our protagonist to be trapped in this superficial world than it is for him to like have to like be in prison or face execution or whatever it is that happens in the movie. I think Powell is very good. I think like Margaret Qualley is quite good. She's doing a big swinging performance in there. The cast is generally quite good. It is a remake of Kind Hearts and Coronets, which is a classic Ealing Studios movie where Alec Guinness plays like 8 different roles in there, including like all the relatives of the family. And I do feel kind of bad that like Glenn Powell, who loves a bit of makeup, loves a dodgy accent, loves the costume, didn't quite get to do that, which is a bit of a shame. I know. In terms of just other stuff that's out, Spilt Milk, which is an Irish movie, which will be in Irish cinemas for St. Patrick's Day, which is a coming of age detective story about like a young 10-year-old boy who lives in the flats in 1980s Dublin, who operates like a detective agency for like spare change, who begins investigating the disappearance of his brother. It's an interesting movie. I think it is incredibly well realized. It's incredibly charming. It is very that is not the spilled milk that takes place in 1980s Dublin, Eric. But good. We don't know. Good try though. That's fair. That is fair. Just to manage expectations. But it is one of the like it's it's a very Agatha Christie style mystery. It's a very kind of Knives Out style mystery where the character in question is Eric's just telling me there are so many movies called Spilled Milk. Yes, spilled milk is a very common phrase that can be used in a number of different contexts. Yes, he's got there. That's exactly good job. Eric's on the ball.
Figured it
But
out.
basically, it is one of those like very modern takes on the detective story. I say modern goes back to Agatha Christie, but the idea of the detective as a person who identifies a fundamental societal flaw in the environment in which they find themselves, and the idea of using the idea of an investigation as a framework to come to a better understanding of your relationship to the world, and like the idea of like trying to explain complex ideas to a child about the world in which they live, which they don't really have a framework for. It bites off a lot. It doesn't entirely succeed. It suffers a great deal because like the ending of the movie has to be a feel-good family movie. It has to be like this 10-year-old kid doesn't have their faith in mankind shattered like Jake Gittes at the end of Chinatown. We can't really do that to our adorable 10-year-old protagonist. So we have to find a way to give this story a happy ending. Whereas the real events that it's drawing from are much more depressing, much more downbeat, and are like part of the social history of Dublin. So you leave that movie going, I really don't feel like they have the situation under control at the end like the movie suggests they do. But it's an ambitious piece of work. It has a really good cast. Incredible production design on what must have been an incredibly tiny budget. So I just want to shout that out. In terms of other like big new releases, Project Hail Mary, which we will be talking about in depth in a couple of weeks, so I'm not going to talk that much about it. I will say I liked it a lot. It's incredibly charming. It's Lord and Miller. It's like Ryan Gosling. And like it does feature, it's not a spoiler, it's in the trailers, but a computer generated performance, which is just incredible. There's a computer generated character in this movie who is just like incredible as a concept and an execution in terms of like how he is directed, in terms of Gosling's performance dancing off him, in terms of the voice performance driving him, in terms of like the animation of him, which is just incredible. It is like a warm, feel good, crowd pleasing movie. I do maybe like it. Yes, that is it exactly. Good job, Eric. That is Rocky, who is like, I am ride or die for Rocky. I only met Rocky last night, but I am like ride or die for him now. An incredible
I don't even know.
creation.
He looks like all the fucking legs thing from Silent Hill, where it's like legs on top and legs on bottom.
No, he absolutely like the movie is. We'll talk about it when we talk about the movie, but the
Yeah.
movie is doing something interesting where it's very similar to like Predator Badlands of all things, where it is trying to get you to empathize with a character that is not really that anthropomorphic, a character that does not look human, and so it is asking you as an audience, can we as filmmakers imbue this object which looks, in the case of the Predator, like a fucking monster, but in the case of this guy, like a fucking rock, with like a sense of personality and empathy, and get you to care about this character in a very real way. And it's an incredible job. It's an incredible performance. It's incredibly well made. Do want to acknowledge I am maybe a bit less warm on it than most people while thinking it is very good. Two big issues with it. The first of which is like Lord and Miller are very like obviously very heavily like influenced by past filmmakers. They're all their films to date. So obviously like the Jump Street series, the Spider-Verse movie, the first one they directed, the second one they produced. All of them are kind of like very pop culture referential. They're very informed by their relationship to other movies, and they're very kind of meta modern, you know? They're in conversation with stuff that you already recognize and have seen. But what I like about all their previous movies is it feels like they are doing that to a greater purpose. So in the Jump Street movies, they are using that to critique the nostalgic industry of Hollywood. Like the 22 Jump Street is one of the best, like, comedy franchise nostalgia sequels, where the entire point of the movie is the pointlessness of not only doing the nostalgic reboot, but doing the sequel to the nostalgic reboot. And it's funny enough to get away with that thing I complained about Scream doing, that thing I complained about Chainsaw Man doing, which is calling out the thing while doing the thing. If you are as funny as those movies, you can just about get away with it. And something like the Spider-Verse movies, which are using like superheroes and using all these different forms to play with the idea of like what these stories are, what these stories mean, who get to be the star of these stories. My problem with like Project Hail Mary is that it is doing all of that. It is iterating on 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's iterating on Interstellar. It's iterating on First Man. It's iterating on Sunshine. It's iterating on like The Black Hole. It's iterating on like Alien at one point, for example. But it's the first time that it feels like Lord and Miller are just doing it for the sake of doing it, as opposed to doing it to iterate on it. Where there are parts of that movie that feel like they are lifted shot for shot from 2001 or shot from Interstellar. And I'm like, where's the twist on this? Like, I love that scene in Interstellar, but like, what's your angle on it? What, you can't just give me the same scene from Interstellar. It's like, yes, we can. Watch us do it. And the other kind of big issue I have with it is that like, kind of wish it were just a little less glib. It is like Jack kind of mentioned the sad astronaut. It is not a sad astronaut movie in any way, shape, or form. It should be a sad astronaut movie. When you line up like what is happening in that movie, what the stakes of that movie are, and in particular like developments in the third act of the plot of that movie, you're like, this astronaut, he should be pretty sad. But the movie's like, nah, he's having a great time. He's making jokes, he's being referential, and obviously, the point of comparison for this is something like The Martian, which is obviously it's based on a book by Andy Weir. It has a screenplay by Drew Goddard, but there is a difference between the performance that like Matt Damon gives in The Martian, where he is funny, he is very astute, he's very pop culture clued in, but Matt Damon inherently has a certain gravitas to him, where like I buy him as a man stranded on Mars trying to survive. Gosling. And it's something to talk about next week when we talk about the movie in actual depth or whatever. But Gosling has this thing where for years there was this take me seriously as a real actor. I'm a real live boy. I'm no longer a Disney Channel kind of kids hunk. I want to like stick my hand inside like Kristen Scott Thomas's womb in like Only God Forgives. I want to beat a man to death with a hammer in Drive. I want to do all that weird stuff in Blue Valentine. I want to, I don't know, do like Wuthering Heights, but in like The Place Beyond the Pines. I want to be a proper sad astronaut in First Man. I want to direct this like lame David Lynch impersonation in like Lost River or whatever it is. And like a lot of that came across as you're trying too hard, Ryan. You need to like ease off the gas. You need to relax a little bit, let yourself have a bit of fun. And it does feel since like 2018, he has done nothing but have fun. And it's like, I like The Nice Guys. I like Barbie. I can tolerate Fall Guy. But it's like, I know you are capable of like more than what you are doing here. I know you can imbue these characters with like depth and complexity and dramatic like stakes. And I like that I like that you don't seem to be as stressed as you are. And I like that you talk about like it being something that helps you be cool with your kids. It's something you are doing for your kids. But I'm also like, maybe it's okay to tap into that a little bit. Maybe it's okay to have a little bit of that like dark energy there. And I want to stress, like the movie a lot, it is incredibly charming. It is incredibly crowd pleasing. It is very well constructed. It is like a fun blockbuster movie that I had a really, really good time with. But those two issues are the ones that are kind of holding me back from being like a lot of people online are. This is the greatest movie of all time. I'm like, maybe if it iterated a bit more on its influences, and maybe if it had just a little bit more gravity to it, I would maybe like it a bit more. But really good time.
I kind of have that. A little bit of that problem with Andy Weir's books. I mean, I've just read The Martian and Project Hail Mary, but he's a good author. He's a fun storyteller. His humor just doesn't connect with me. He feels kind of like a guy who has like a meme folder on his phone and is like, "Oh, let me show you these sick memes I found." I'm like, I don't fucking need that. That's not where comedy for me comes from. Also, I do think First Man, for whatever reason, some of it being political, that movie not landing caused all this. Yes. Because that movie's fucking great, and Gosling is incredible in it. And the fact that part of it literally was a right-wing, like, this movie isn't
not enough
patriotic.
Flags. Or not enough American flags in First Man.
Not enough American flags, and so the movie kind of just got washed away in history.
I noted there are shots of American flags in Project Hail Mary. Ryan Gosling ain't repeating that mistake.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, well,
I wonder if that was like part of his contract agreement, like for Lloyd.
This isn't happening again.
Yeah, it's like there must be at least 5 flags in this movie, and they're like, we would have given you 10. It's like, well, it's too late. It's 9 now.
But yeah, we'll talk. That'll probably be our main topic next episode. Anything else, Darren?
Hoppers, which I thought was fine, like a really fun opening 2 acts, a really disastrous third act of a movie. Like
that's the new
really
Pixar
fun
movie, correct?
That's the new Pixar movie, which made shed loads of money, which I'm very happy for them. But it's also like weirdly feels very kind of neutered appropriately enough. Like it is very obviously Avatar meets Zootopia, which is like feels like it was grown in a lab for like Pixar need money, baby. Pixar need to pay that mortgage. It's like we need a hit and we need it fast. It is very fun. The opening 2 acts are very clever. It moves very quickly. It does an excellent job of explaining what is a very high concept premise. The cast are incredibly charming, incredibly fun, but it just like hits this brick wall in its third act, which feels very much like Bob Iger told us that there were things we couldn't do in this movie. So we gotta find a way to end this story that is not the ending that this story really needs. And it just like falls off an unfinished overpass to stretch a metaphor from the movie in question. Other than that, the Moment, which is the Charlie XCX movie, which is now available on streaming, fine, perfectly solid. Like it was like there are an incredible 15 minutes in that movie in which like a conversation with like a Kardashian Jenner sibling basically almost leads to the collapse of like the Western economy. And like when that happens, I'm like, this movie is cooking with gas. But a lot of the movie is like very stereotypical, like very broad comedy satirizing like the concert film phenomenon. I will say it kind of is neither fish nor fowl, where it is very obviously hoping to be a mockumentary, where like it is obviously Charlie plays herself. She's done it before. She's very good at it. A lot of the people around her are playing themselves, including like her manager and her press agent and stuff like that. So like there's a lot of amateurs in this documentary, which ends in a layer of like verisimilitude. So you're like, oh, this could be a Charlie XCX concert film. And then the new producer of the Amazon like concert film that she's making shows up, and he's played by Alexander Skarsgård. And you're like, he's too famous to be a guy who's like playing somebody who is not Alexander Skarsgård in a mockumentary. Yeah. He is very funny. He gets some of the best jokes in the movie and is the most pointed character in the movie, but it does kind of break the immersion in the movie for me in a way that kind of distracts me. I found it really frustrating. And then just finally, I guess I can give a social review. I saw like, because like, you know, Marty mentioned that Netflix are premiering the second season of One Piece today. Didn't give me screeners for that. Instead, they gave me screeners for Louis Theroux's Inside the Manosphere, because they're like, I feel like Darren really needs that. It's a documentary of like British documentarian Louis Theroux investigating, as the title implies, the Manosphere, going undercover with all the great people on YouTube. It is, as one might imagine, there we go, wonderful poster for it, an upper. Doesn't really have too much of a surprise. Like, if you were following this stuff at all, you were aware of a lot of the stuff in there already. It is very much aimed at like an older generation of people who Netflix is about as online as they go. But I did find that Theroux is, yes, okay, I'm going to wrap up now. It's a
time is Mooney.
It's a fair point. So yeah, I'm going to wrap up.
There's no timer on this one. Yeah.
It's fine. It is. I do like the Theroux. Yes, it's for dodos. We do have to get to the super chats. He's entirely correct here. But basically, yeah, Theroux does the thing that Theroux does in his documentaries, which is he creates like a really interesting extended discussion of the subject that he's dealing with in the context of like wider society, where he's like, oh yeah, this is just another manifestation of the late capitalist nihilistic hellscape we live in which it doesn't matter what you actually believe. It doesn't matter what you're perpetuating. It doesn't matter how your actions conflict with your purported values. All that matters is that you get yours at the end of the day. So yeah, very, 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 very upbeat movie, documentary. Left me feeling very good about the state of the world and humanity and everything in general. Sorry, so I think I got in onto the radar.
No desire to watch this thing, like a negative desire to watch this thing. I know what I think about it. I think it fucking sucks. Like I don't know. Like
Darren said though, this could be great for like my dad to stumble across and go, "What? They're lying?"
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is the audience is our parents. Like that's it's for people who have heard the word manosphere in thinks pieces and podcasts. They're like, I don't really want to delve into that directly, but there's a British man with glasses who's going to do it for me.
Yeah, exact.
Yeah. What if you click on it thinking it's about Manos, Hands of Fate? And you're like, this isn't Manos. Hashtag not my Manos.
Well, those hands look pretty fateful, to be fair.
That is, God damn it, that is pretty good. All right. Bunch of super chats. We're gonna get through these nice and swift. I have faith.
Nice and quickly.
JG, thank you so much. 20 Canadian dollars from the recent Canadian arrival last stream. There was the Kingston Canadian Film Fest a few weeks back, where Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie was massively popular, and it is a mockumentary. All right, that guides us in a direction.
Because I've been searching for movie times now, like YouTube thinks I want to see clips of all these, and so
no, I just want to know what it is.
and so like I'm watching like little 2-minute sketches from like things, and it's what is this? Was this an internet show? Was it a TV show? What like
it's Canadian?
It's funny, maybe sometimes it's video game centric. What like it is shocking, and it's just one of those like how big the world is, how big the internet is, that I have never once heard of this and apparently it has such a giant fan base
Yeah.
that it got its own movie. It's insane to me. I love it. I love every second of it.
I know, Marty, this is the big picture. I do like that when they were talking about it, they did make
Mhm.
a point to bring in there is a Toronto expert.
Oh yeah, Adam
to, like,
Naiman,
provide context.
like our Canadian
They're like,
correspondent.
we have like our from across the border to explain
Yeah.
what the fuck this is to
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
It's
Right?
Canadian. That's all it is.
I'm very
fair.
excited for it. There are no international distribution rights in Ireland yet. I'm very excited for it.
That feels like a movie that they should just be like, here it is for $10 on YouTube.
Right.
Just buy it if you want.
Yeah.
It's Canadian. Thank you, JG. John Arbuckle with a €2 dono. Comics Corner. Is it true that Joe Quesada saved Marvel? Answer the question in one sentence, Darren. Did Joe Quesada save Marvel?
In the short term, yes, but by killing Spider-Man.
Literally killing Spider-Man, or by like hindering the future of Spider-Man?
By hindering the future of Spider-Man. He made Spider-Man sell his soul to the devil and basically trapped Spider-Man in a perpetual like teenagehood and nostalgiahood, and basically set in motion the entire modern state of the comic book industry, where your favorites are no longer allowed to grow up, and the people who will exist will always be the people who were popular when the current people writing the comics were young. That's a sentence. It's a run-on sentence.
No, that's good. I asked a follow-up question, so you got more sentences. Does it Mephisto? Did he sell it to Mephisto?
He does. He sells it to Mephisto. It's the end of One More Day. It's one of the worst things to happen in comic books, and it basically derails. So the idea is that, like, Spider-Man, to give credit where it's due, Spider-Man had, like, slowly developed over the course of, like, decades, where he had graduated from high school, he had gone to college, he eventually married Mary Jane, etc. So, like, there was, like, he was moving much slower than we do through life, but he was moving through life. Quesada basically arrives and is like, you know what? I like it better when I could relate to Spider-Man as like a fantasy of being a young man just like hanging around New York, having no responsibility whatsoever, because that's what Spider-Man's about, right? The complete lack of responsibility of being a young man. So let's just get back to that. And it's like, so to do that, we have like Aunt May resurrected, and we also like reboot the marriage so that he goes back to being an unmarried single man swinging around New York. It is so
swinging
cynical.
Like what kind of swinging are we talking about? Hubba.
There's a lot of body swapping in that run, to be fair. There's a lot of like Otto Octavius gets busy. They call him the 8-arm freak.
And to be fair to Joe Quesada, he is also a ridiculously prolific author, yes. Like also responsible for some amazing runs. So like not only is he responsible for possibly one of the worst things to happen in comic books, but is also responsible for some amazing runs of comic books.
Like to give the credit where it's due, like I did say that he saved Marvel in the short term. He like coming out in the 90s, he did a great deal to reinvigorate the line. He did a great deal to like particularly invigorate, say, Daredevil, and like he is responsible for things like Bendis coming to Marvel and Bendis being the spine around which Marvel's organized, and also like gearing for better or for worse, but in terms of like if you're a Marvel shareholder, for very much the better, gearing the comics towards being a property that could be expanded into movies. Like there's a very solid argument that there's a straight line from like Marvel being near bankruptcy, Joe Quesada taking over, to the MCU existing. And if like whatever about culture, whatever about like the state of the industry, if you're a Marvel shareholder in 1999, Quesada is a savior and a god. That's why I said like he did save Marvel in the short term, but he also like crippled Spider-Man as a character and arguably the industry as a whole. It's a very nuanced thing. I had a sense.
It's very nuanced, and it's like, did he cripple it, or was that just the way? Is that just the way the industry is, and he went along with it? Right,
it would have happened anyway. Like Jeff Johns would have arrived at DC and like rebooted Hal Jordan and like Barry Allen anyway. Like it was gonna happen. It's just the person who pulled the trigger. Do you blame him for being the person who got there first, or is it like actually good that he got there first because he got paid? Welcome to the Scream 7 section of the conversation.
There you go. Perfect. Love it. There you go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy with a $5 dono. Thank you, easy peasy. I hope Marty Supreme doesn't win for best casting. Best casting is a new award at the Oscars, like the best ensemble, best casting. We don't need another reward giving praise and attention to people like Kevin O'Leary. That is a tough thing about that movie, because I think Marty Supreme is the best casted movie of last year. And I think Kevin O'Leary is really good in the movie. He's also a fucking monster in real life.
Sure.
So I don't know, like that is a real sticky wicket of separating the art from the artist. He's literally a vampire. He says it in the movie, and he's a vampire. He's a foreign.
Well, he like traveled to Abu Dhabi to like have the blood of young people infused into him in real life. Like there's a Vulture article where it's like, however evil you think Kevin O'Leary is, you're under the target. You're like, Because he's like, yeah, no, I traveled to Abu Dhabi and I got like a 20-something-year-old's blood injected into me. It's great. You should try it. It's really fantastic. And I'm
it's like one of the.
okay.
Could we have just cast someone else in this movie?
But like the flip side of that is that like he is incredible. Like that's the
He's
separating
really
art from
good.
the artist is that he is really freaking good in that movie.
Because he's
as
not
awful as
acting, because he just is.
No, like you know the whole deal with the vampire bit, right?
Yeah,
You
he
know-
was going to be an actual vampire.
No, but like you know how like that came about was because like slight spoiler for Marty Supreme. There is a point where Kevin O'Leary's character walks up to Marty and says, "I want to tell you something. I've been alive since 1602. I'm a vampire. I'm a blood-sucking monster. I have lived and I will continue to live until the end of time. Now, there are people who disappoint me in the past. There are other Marty Supremes. Those who disappoint me, they're still around. You will never be happy." The reason that monologue is in the movie is because Kevin O'Leary got the script. He got the end of it. It's like, Marty doesn't suffer enough. Like, this little shit whose name is on the cover of the movie gets a happy ending or a happy-ish ending. I, Kevin O'Leary, who am in this movie, cannot fathom that happening. So here, I have a suggestion. And he recorded something very similar to that monologue into his phone and sent it to Joss Safdie, the director, was like, here's how I suggest you end the movie. And Joss Safdie was like, we are not making you a literal vampire, but we will take the speech. Thank you very much.
It's a good speech. And the guy fucking sucks.
It's an incredible, it's an incredible moment. And the guy is awful. Like, yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Shawshank, thank you so much with 40 Indian rupees. I saw the ping pong anime. It was perfect. Please try it. There's Ping Pong the Animation. There's a short series from like 10 or 15 years ago that is about like a high school competitive ping pong championship, and it is delightful and it is phenomenally animated. It is like gorgeously animated. So if everyone's got ping pong fever from Marty Supreme, you can watch Ping Pong the Animation and play Rockstar's table tennis on the Xbox.
And look, Jack,
360.
if you're looking to dip your toes back in the water, this is an excellent way to start paddling.
Holy shit. I like it. Jack kind of laughs like the Emperor at the end. The Dread Pirate, thank you so much for a $5 dono. Speaking of Oscar movies, did y'all see Reacher fight that big robot? Apparently, the new big Netflix movie this weekend was called War Machine, and it stars Reacher, and it's like Predator, but he's fighting a clanker.
Transformer or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have not had time to see that, unfortunately. Like, I like what's the name of the guy? It's
Alan Richardson.
Alan Richardson.
Alan Richardson. Yeah, like he seems like a nice guy, and like he's obviously got a lot of screen presence. I kind of is frustrating that he seems to be a streaming guy because he did was a Playdate as well with Kevin James is another one of his recent projects. But it's like I feel like if you're doing Reacher, you should be able to do like a proper theatrical movie. I would like to check this out. I just have not had time to do so.
There you go. Sussy Guru with a €10 dono. Thank you so much. Speaking of Star Trek, I'm not sure if I hate SFA. Was that fit?
Starfleet Academy?
Starfield Academy, thank you, or not. On one hand, it isn't the dumpster fire that it could have been, and on the other, it is bad and vapid as I expected it to be. It sounds like you don't like it. If it's as bad and vapid as you expected it to be, it sounds like you don't like it.
Stop watching Star Trek.
Everything could be worse.
Well, that's the problem is that like Star Trek has been worse. That's the thing. It's like, and again, I do not care for Starfleet Academy, but I'm like, this is better than Picard or Strange New Worlds or Discovery or or Section 31, the movie. And I'm like, is there a point where like Stockholm syndrome kicks in and like something that is not the worst thing in the world is like, this is pretty good actually. Or
listen, when I went to Catholic grade school, nuns slapped me on the hand. Actual nuns, literally. I have scars on my knuckles from when nuns would slap me, and it got me to stop doing things. If that's what you need to stop watching Star Trek, I'll call the nuns.
You know what? Frankenstein's dad did that, and he still made Frankenstein, so it's not going to help anyone.
But yeah, no, like I do not care for it. It is not for me. I have a lot of problems with it. But part of it is also like it is also maybe not for me. It's for a younger audience, and maybe they're enjoying it, and good for them if they are. But it does not work for me. But also, it could be a lot worse. Which is the great like it's the highest praise you could like put that on the poster. It could be a lot worse. Darren Mooney, 2 stars.
There you go. Yeah. Cody Bishop with a $2 dono. Thank you so much. The Orville stops being a comedy after a few episodes. There you go. It transforms. Robots in disguise. Sussy Guru with a €5 dono. Thank you so much. I didn't even remember that Chalamet was in Interstellar. Yeah, I mean, he has a very, very small role. And even Chalamet, I think, said he filmed more and was like, when he saw the movie, a bunch of it was cut. I mean,
he's also like
it's mostly about the daughter.
Yeah, he also credits like Casey Affleck, who's to say, but like it is also like notable that like Chalamet, to make us all feel very old, one of the reasons he cites becoming an actor is seeing Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight, which is kind of incredible. Like, it's an incredible self-actualization journey towards being the kid in a Nolan movie. And like, Nolan has been doing interviews with him as well. And I love that Nolan's like, shut up. Nolan is like, when they do interviews and Chalamet says something along the lines of, I don't want it to become like opera or ballet. Nolan's like, shut up. Don't say things.
He needs
like
a Nolan app next to him. Like, shut up! What are you doing?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up!
Yeah.
Don't give him too much of your personal life. Look what Leo did. Just don't give him too much of your personal life.
Yeah, be like Tom Cruise. Talk about how much you like popcorn. That's the golden mean.
And then eat it like
love you, George.
Like an alien who has never seen popcorn before in their life.
Was it Cruise at the Saturn Awards screaming, "We love you, George," as George Lucas collects his Lifetime Achievement Award? I'm like, I do actually like however problematic Tom Cruise is and whatever he's involved in. I do kind of love that he does love movies. Like,
he does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Truly.
What a weird man. I also like that. I like that Christopher McQuarrie is going from like directing 60-year-old Mission Impossible or Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible to now directing 80-year-old Arnold Schwarzenegger in King Conan. So
the one
he just likes his
Schwarzenegger like a
geriatrics.
sequel I'm interested in. Like the one Schwarzenegger sequel I'm actually interested in. Although apparently he's coming back for the Trachtenberg Predator movie, which I'm anxious about. I'm all aboard.
Is that going to be like? Is that just going to like take everyone and mash them together from the end of the Killer of Killers? How like
and then like Trachtenberg like just touches the matches like I'm going over to work at Paramount, baby.
Bye guys. What a nightmare. Robert Dooley, thank you so much. $2 dono, 1-sentence answer. Any thoughts on Ed Brubaker's Captain America?
Very good. No, it's honestly very good. Thank you for the timer there. I'm not going to use the full 2 minutes. It's a seminal, informative, instructive like Captain America run for me. As much as I love like Mark Greenwald's 1980s run, as much as I love like Jack Kirby's 1970s Mad Scientist run, Eric Brubaker's run on Captain America is for me one of the great comic book runs. It is like a really instructive study of like America as it was at the time during the Obama era, towards the end of the Bush era, heading into the Trump era. It's really long. It does a really excellent job of reintroducing the character Bucky Barnes. It is also the basis of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe conception of Captain America. So if you like Captain America in the movies, you will like Captain America in Brubaker's run. Also, very quickly want to shout out his Daredevil run is even better. And his Gotham Central run is like one of the best comics ever published. So if you want to check out some Ed Brubaker, Captain America, Daredevil, and Gotham Central, those would be the 3 big recommendations. And also like Sleeper and his non-licensed like stuff. He's one of those actors, he's one of those guys who earned more from his cameo in X-Men Days of Future Past than he did for like creating the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And he was like, the moment that happened, it's like I just stopped writing Marvel comics because there was no point. So he's done a lot of creator owned work, which is very good, like Fatale and Sleeper and stuff, which I would recommend. Not Sleeper Criminal, but yeah.
2 things. 1, Brubaker's a fun name to say. I guess 3 things. Brubaker, fun name to say. 2, I forgot Daredevil season 2 is coming soon on Netflix, or Daredevil Born Again season 2 is coming
Reborn
soon
Again,
on Netflix. And Reborn Again. And 3, I got a Marvel Unlimited subscription. That is the digital Marvel thing. They need an ability to like create a playlist and share it with people. Because I'm trying to figure out a way. I want to do the entire like Fantastic Four through Secret Wars Hickman run. Yeah. And I'm needing to consult. I have a friend of mine who gave me this like image that seems like incredibly obtuse, and I'm like, why can't people just create a playlist and you can subscribe to the playlist like a Spotify playlist, and then you are able to read these?
It is one of the big issues with these apps is that like there is no way to queue up like one comic after another, and particularly because the way that comics work is they cross across titles and stuff like that. Yeah. So like you're talking about like the Hickman run. The Hickman run is I love that this Comics Corner has turned into like a comics quadrant and it's going to soon be a comics room. But the Hickman run is split across like his Fantastic Four title and his Future Foundation title. And in order to follow them, you need to read them one after a time because they are self-contained. And if you get ahead in any way, shape, or form in one or the other will be spoiled for you. So like it is a really frustrating thing that you cannot in any of the apps, including Comixology, just go, I want to read these comics in an order that even I have chosen or somebody else has chosen.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely insane. Like these apps created by capital B billion-dollar companies don't have basic features. I was just reading a wonderful article. Same thing with stuff like Dungeons and Dragons. The official Dungeons and Dragons app that you can play Dungeons and Dragons on is garbage compared to many of the other things that just fan creators have made.
Yeah. And it's crazy that this is the biggest issue with Comixology and Marvel Unlimited because they have tens of thousands of issues.
Yeah. Pretty much everything is on there, which is incredible. And like Marvel
Mhm.
Unlimited, like it's a really great way to journey through the history of comics. But the problem is the history of comics is so interconnected. It's no longer you just read Hickman's Fantastic Four from beginning to end. Like the logic of like, well, how do I read Hickman's Fantastic Four? It's like you start at Fantastic Four #1 and you end at Fantastic Four number 24. But it's like, no, you have to go Fantastic Four #1, FF #1, then you read the annual, then you read the crossover, then you read Secret Wars #1, then you go back to Fantastic Four #4 for some reason, then you come back to FF #2. Like it is so insane and so difficult. And like that's why I like these books where they're published in ways that are designed to be read from beginning to end, but that's not an option for people who don't live in libraries, alas.
Shawshank and Mopman, thank you for acknowledging my pun, and the two of them just landed with a thud.
It was too good. What was the pun? I'm so sorry.
I said it's the biggest issue with the app, which is impressive because the app has tens of thousands of issues.
I'm so sorry.
I engaged seriously with your point. I'm sorry. Listeners can't see, but I'm actually literally guiltily twiddling my cord.
Good.
I don't know if you noticed when Darren and I make a pun, we emphasize the word. Like we make you sprinkled a pun, we make a pun.
Yeah. You could say it's the biggest issue with the app. Like you gotta land.
You really make a meal out of it.
You gotta make a meal out of it, 100%. You gotta I was going to make another pun, but I won't.
Okay, all right. This is.
I'm sure there'll be more. We still got like 20 super chats. We're fine. You'll have puns. Sean Schultz, thank you so much for the $2 dono. What is your favorite anime right now? I think of currently running things that I'm excited for their next seasons. Dan. I'm excited for, Jack mentioned Delicious in Dungeon. I thought that first season was delightful. Solo Leveling, I enjoy, even though it's like a lot of just dumb sugar candy. I think those are probably my three favorite currently occurring ones. I always want to bring up Kaguya-sama, the Love is War, the rom-com I always mention.
That's the one that's kind of done, but the student counselors.
Yeah, the student council president, vice president, and they're kind of will they, won't they, which is just delightful. So there you go. Anime corner. Mopman, what if I'm slowly trying to steer the ship away from Star Trek into anime? And let me tell you, it's not working.
No, but it is working because
we did
Darren
spend
and I
half an hour
don't
on
like
Chainsaw.
new Star Trek. Yeah.
Mopman, thank you so much for $2 dono. My recommendation for a quote serious anime will always be Monster. I think this is about like a serial killer, I want to say. Ooh. I've not read or watched this. This is a little while ago. I also Googled Monster, and Monster Energy Drink was the first thing that popped up. Also huge that Monster Energy Drink is the first search result for Monster. The word Monster.
Huge. That's great search engine optimization. Yeah.
I mean, it's clearly a monster. It was featured in Hideo Kojima's hit video game Death Stranding until it got patched out because I don't think they had the rights to it or something.
Here's an important note. I'm not saying anything about this monster. Me personally, I am not looking for a serious anime. I think one of the things anime has going for it is how fantastical it can be.
Yeah.
I don't want a drama anime. I want them fighting. I want them transforming themselves into chainsaw murder monsters fighting demons. I think that's wonderful and like a boon to the genre is you just have to buy in once and they get to do all this fantastic.
You should watch Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, I might say I love the anime writers' room where they're just like, and so this is a harrowing study of a serial killer, and this one guy, Jack in the corner, raises his hand and say, "I got a question. What if he turns into a chainsaw?" They're like,
"What if? I don't know. What if he can turn himself into a big pile of crap or something? It doesn't matter. I want it to be fantastical. I love.
What if he's a parakeet and he opens his mouth and it's like a Danny DeVito inside?
Huh?
That actually sounds great.
He's an actual parakeet. But he's got a Danny DeVito inside, and Danny DeVito is his like spirit presence. Everyone's got a Danny DeVito inside. This is my new pitch.
Yeah, all of us are Danny DeVitos. Right. It's like the Spartacus scene, but with Danny DeVito. Cody Bishop, thank you so much for the $5 dude. It's coming back. Netflix movie called War Machine with the actor from Reacher about Army Rangers training and getting attacked by an alien. Has a lot of heart. I didn't expect the ending. I didn't expect it has a lot of heart at the end.
All right, I'll watch it.
I want to see it. I
want big dumb action. Yeah, big dumb action.
How long before we get the Mark Ruffalo rom-com where he wants to fuck the Transformer?
Yeah, we don't have a lot. No, we do actually. I was about to say we don't have enough movies about people wanting to fuck robots, but we had Companion last year.
I mean, I feel like Ex Machina Companion got a
Yeah. We don't have fun movies
No
about
good
people wanting to fuck
yeah.
robots. I don't know. Shorts, or what's the Weird Science?
Yeah.
Or no.
I mean,
Mannequin, is she a robot?
I guess we
Mannequin,
also kind of
she's
have
not
the
a robot.
bride kind of counts, I guess. Like there's
Bride
a
kinda
bit of
counts,
ambiguity there, yeah.
Is a mannequin brought to life not an automaton?
A mannequin is not a robot.
A mannequin brought to life, though, is robotic.
Well, if they're brought to life, that's they're she was real. She was
do they
a
have
real
humanity
life.
rights?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Most importantly, Kim Cattrall in Mannequin was a real human. She was an Egyptian princess at the start of Mannequin, who then
is that how Mannequin starts? She was an
Yeah.
Egyptian princess?
Have you never-
an insane movie.
I've seen Mannequin when, like, 20 years ago.
Mannequin is legitimately one of my favorite movies. Yeah, Kim Cattrall is an Egyptian princess who gets like married off to someone who she hates. So she pleads with the Egyptian gods to find true love, and her soul starts bouncing through time looking for true love. Landing in 1980s Philadelphia.
Born and raised on a
Yeah.
playground. Quintuple, thank you so much for another $5.
Oh, we're done talking about Mannequin? Oh, yeah.
Jack's Jack's like, I have a heart out to pick up my kids unless it's about Mannequin, and they know, oh, Dad didn't show up. Oh, it's because of Mannequin. It's
Just
understandable.
send an emoji that is like Kim Cattrall. And they're like, oh, we get it. It's like, that's
Oh,
fucking
there's Mannequin in again.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Quintuple, thank you so much.
When you make up
$5
stuff about
dono.
the movie, it's called Straw Mannequin. But anyway,
That's good. I liked it. I'm now understanding. Mine are too subtle.
Yep.
I will learn the error of my ways. Quintuple, thank you so much for the dono. Solidarity with Jack on Chainsaw Man. However, like Pluribus, I've also not seen this either.
Oh, well, you can't.
Jack's entire side is people like, Jack's right. I also haven't seen it, but I
Yeah.
assume Jack's right.
doesn't seem like it's my buzz. Saul.
I can only tell you what I think about things. I'm often, as I'm told by the comments, incorrect about how I think about things.
Which I will
The
reiterate.
internet has an
is
insane
impossible.
reaction. Yeah, the
Is
internet has a
truly
very strong
impossible.
reaction to your opinion on the culture, Jack. Never.
Shocking. Vector, thank you so much for a $2 dono. What the fuck was Elfin Lead? I need some weebsplaining. I will not. This is the one I ended up watching a few months ago because the anime podcast I listened to was doing a rewatch. It was most certainly one of the inspirations for Stranger Things. The main character is very 11 coded.
11 coded.
The show, if you thought Chainsaw Man was a little bit gross and depraved, this is a million times worse. I just, at the end of every episode, I'm like, why am I still watching this? Why am I doing this? This is awful. There you go. Highly would not recommend this to anyone. DJT with $5 Canadian. Thank you so much. Darren, check out ContraPoint's latest video about the Saw series. It's about revenge and justice and culture, similar to your great backdrop.
I do. I'm very fond of ContraPoints. Didn't know there was a Saw video. Also very fond of the Saw movies. Inexplicably fond of the Saw movies. To the point where like there is an Irish critic who very memorably, when we were talking about something, was like, Darren, I can't take your opinion seriously. You just casually say things like Saw 6 is the best movie about American healthcare. And I'm like, I love that I'm known for my opinion on Saw 6.
I mean, name a better one. Aaron Brockovich, maybe?
Yeah. they're about the same. They about even out. I think they have the same number of Oscars,
The
right?
Pit.
Yeah. Saw 6 is inexplicably like the best Saw movie that is not the first Saw, to be fair. But yeah, so check the ContraPoints. I'm very fond of ContraPoints.
You get some Halloween. You should go as John Kramer trying to be young.
Oh yeah, we're just like rock up with the baseball cap and the hoodie.
What are you supposed to be? Oh, I'm young John Kramer.
Yeah.
You know,
Go kids.
Saw, the Saw.
I'm trying to decide, is it like
Saw?
Sean Patrick Flannery is trying? I'm trying to get inside a book. I'm going undercover. It is how do you do, fellow kids? Before how do you do, fellow kids?
Yeah.
Again, one of the great things about the Saw franchise is that John Kramer dies at the end of Saw 3. There have inexplicably been like 7 Saw movies since then, most of which feature Tobin Bell as John Kramer.
No notes. Perfect.
Yeah.
No notes. Nick Knoll, thank you so much for a $5 dono. What is your single most treasured piece of nerd memorabilia? I just spent a grip of cash on a first edition paperback of Neuromancer that I hung above my desk. That's really cool. I don't know if I have like I don't have any like crazy expensive things. I have a bunch of like just tchotchkes. I like my tchotchkes, but I don't think I have like, oh, this is like very important to me. Do you guys have anything?
It says, Darren, as you speak in your literal library.
I mean, can you choose just one? Like, is there one?
Well, I
like, if the house is on fire, what is the one
Which
thing
one do
you're
I grab?
grabbing? Not like
Yeah.
a friend or family member, or like
Yeah,
anything
just
like that.
let them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what
Like,
is
you
what
guys
is
all
the
grab a book too. But yeah, no. It's probably I have original artwork from Rom V's recent Detective Comics run, which is just incredible. I like it's hanging up on the wall. That was a thing that somebody got me, which was very thoughtful of them, and so that is up on the wall, and it's actually like a piece of comics history, which I love so much. So I get to
I like
see
that.
that like every morning when I'm downstairs in my sitting room. It's adorable. And if I had to grab one of these, it'd be like Grant Morrison's new X-Men run, because that's like the comic that got me into comics. So yeah, that'd be it.
But are any of them like unique? Like, do you have any like, oh, this is first edition worth a ton? Like, could any of those things in that room not just be replaced by buying another one?
No, most of them couldn't actually, because they have limited print runs. So they're all like fairly.
There you go.
Yes.
I assume
I like that your answer, by the way, is everything. Like, I love that your answer
everything.
is there everything.
We'll just
But, like,
move the room.
Yeah, with this room right here would be
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
No, but like yeah, because limited print runs and because of the nerd thing, a lot of these stuff ends up being like I could not buy if I lost that copy of Punisher.
Sure.
I could not buy another
Yeah,
copy of it.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you have one,
Sure.
Jack?
I have a
mind?
few things. I have a really nice hardcover signed special limited print run of Wool, which is I thought Darren might be making fun of me for Wool.
No,
but are you thinking?
No, I
of
saw
more
I
things?
saw several super chats, and I'm like, that's just cruel. What people are doing
yeah.
in the super chats is cruel. But anyway, sorry.
So it's a special limited print of Wool, one of my favorite books of all time, signed by Hugh Howey. That's really neat. I have a bunch of strange little VHS that I display and like Darren lovingly, like when I walk past them, I go, Robot in the Family. Like, just like little pieces of me. I have the complete run of Puppet Master comic books and Waterworld comic books.
Ooh.
Yes, the Waterworld comic books are the special ones. I would throw the Puppet Master comics aside and grab the Waterworld comics.
You should put a jar on your shelf of water. When people ask what that is, say it's water from Waterworld. This is water from the set of Waterworld. No one would be able to say you're a liar.
No one would be able to
fine.
say no. Yeah,
I like that it's like Kevin Costner in the movie having like a jar of dirt. It's like the invert. We live on Earthworld. So this is as precious as dirt is on Waterworld.
We live on Earthworld. Oh, that's beautiful. Mendule, thank you so much. $5 dono. All three of you. What's your favorite movie to do with mushrooms, Jack? I saw that mushroom movie you watched back at RLM, a classic. Oh, this is Fungus Finder. I didn't know
yes,
Mendule was Fungus Finder.
For Wheel of the Worst segments on Best of the Worst, we oftentimes will watch like instructional videos or things that aren't movies, things that are just very strange. And we found a video all on the importance and the fun of hunting for morel mushrooms. And I don't know if you know anything about morel mushrooms. They're very tasty mushrooms, and they are kind of easy to pick, especially kind of south of me in Milwaukee in the Midwest here. You can find them sometimes. There they are. Just out and about, and they are delicious and fun things to go mushroom hunting for.
You should get a truffle pig. That'd be fun.
Like the movie Pig.
Like the movie Pig.
That seemed like it was fun. Yeah, that seemed like it was fun for everybody involved.
Here's how I'm going to cheat.
You have mushroom for dinner afterwards, though.
Oh yeah. Here's the movie I'm gonna cheat with my favorite mushroom movie just because I'm such a fun guy. I'm gonna choose The Girl with All the Gifts.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty
good mushroom
one.
movie. Yeah, I don't know
good mushroom movie.
Good mushroom movies.
Well, the answer is Phantom Thread is the like classy answer to the question. I do feel like. And then if we're branching out, I mean, I guess I like start the first season of Star Trek Discovery, in which the ship is literally powered by magic mushrooms, which is kind of like one of those. I know people who use subtext that they're all cowards things.
Yeah.
And I have like a friend who has kids, and I bought them all like the Tintin books, and so Tintin and the Shooting Star, which is like one of my great mushroom centric pieces of media ever. If Eric can find the cover for Tintin and the Shooting Star, but yeah, so those are my mushroom picks, I guess.
The movie Climax, I brought that up a few times, but that's where there's like a French rave that someone spikes the punch with, I don't know if it's mushrooms, LSD, some hallucinogenic, and everything turns into hell. So that's a fun one. I mean, it's not good mushrooms.
The Shooting Star. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Also, Tyrell, that's a great point. No, someone should have probably brought up Grinderman. Jack, you probably should have brought up Greater Britain.
He's right here.
He's right there. He's literally
He's right here.
He's the only Adventurous Die character in frame at the moment. Boo-Ray with a $2 dono. Thank you so much, Boo-Ray. Thoughts on Gen 13? I don't know what that is.
Oh, come on. That's not fair. Gen 13 is that's the Wildstorm comic that was illustrated by like Jim Lee, and it's like
what about one sentence?
I have not read that much of Gen Z in order to render a proper opinion on it, but I'm not a huge fan of that era of Wildstorm in general. That is my one sentence.
Oh, that's fine. You were a little worried about that.
Were
you worried like people were gonna get mad at you, or?
No, it's very edgy, and it's very 90s in terms of its sensibility. It was not my jam. Is my thing.
Who was the
I think it was Jim Lee, wasn't it? Jim Lee was the artist, if I remember correctly. Let me just double check that to be sure, but I remember that being an early kind of image type thing. Give me 2 seconds.
I don't know anything about Gen 13. Do you know anything about Gen 13, Jack?
Nope.
All right,
but from the looks of it, this is definitely like late 90s, early aughts. Like seeing the low cut jeans and the hip bones on the lead heroine is like, come on.
Yes, it is very much like you're a teenage boy and you can't buy the magazines that you want to buy.
Yep.
So this will fill that particular gap for you.
Thing.
Next best thing.
Oh, it was written by Jim Lee and illustrated by J. Scott Campbell, which is not what you want, with all due respect to Jim Lee.
Stick to soup, J. Scott. I don't know who that is.
But yeah, no, Jim Lee, one of the great artists of his generation, not one of the great writers of his generation.
There you go. Boo-Ray with a $2 dono. 5 cream is what Shinji calls his hand. Hey, god damn it. God damn it. The Hawk
Just when you thought we were finished with that, eh?
I usually read these beforehand, and so I reacted to it in progress. Get that image out of here.
I know
I think that
so
comic is the cream
little
of the crop.
The problem is Neon Genesis Evangelion is a beautiful work of art.
It's an incredible show.
That has that one moment that is very easy to dunk out.
Yeah,
incredibly.
absolutely.
No, but like that moment serves a point.
Oh, it's a character moment. He's on the lowest of the low. Like I'm fucking shit afterwards. Yeah.
But it's also like feels like it's Anno commenting on himself and working through his own issues and his own complicated relationship to what he is doing in the anime, creating these like women that he also kind of fawns over and objectifies and stuff like that. Like it's that thing of like doing the thing and critiquing the thing, except it is the grossest possible version of doing the thing. Some kind of like it's like that like Joker 2 energy of like, you know, you're pissing on my leg, but at least you're not telling me it's raining, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Well, Shinji's not pissing on my leg, to be fair.
Jesus, the Hawk CBM with $5 dono. Just walked out of Scream 7, hated it, and I see what you're talking about. Cynical, dull, and weirdly mean towards Scream 6, and Sydney felt oddly inconsistent. Yep. I think all of those are correct.
It is so funny that like Sydney, it's like there's a character in Scream 3 called Mark, who is a cop who she marries and falls in love with, and he's played by Dr. McDreamy. No, he's played by in Scream 3. He's played by Dr. McDreamy. Is it what's his name? Patrick, whatever his name is.
Dempsey.
Patrick Dempsey. And like throughout like Scream 4 and Scream 5, they're like, oh, how's being married to Mark, the cop? And you're like, oh, they obviously mean that she married Patrick Dempsey off screen. And then you get to Scream 7. Where it turns out she married a different cop played by Joel McHale, who is also called Mark.
She has a type.
Yeah.
Cops played by actors who are on long-running TV shows. Jonathan Griffin, thank you so much for a $10 dono. Also, I've been reading Tim Grieving's recent biography of John Williams, and I found it a neat look at one of the most important figures in film history. That sounds neat. I don't know anything about John Williams other than his music is, I think he's one of one when it comes to film composers, obviously.
Right.
But yeah,
the documentary is incredible. One of the recent documentary.
Oh, I haven't.
Disney Plus, if I remember correctly.
I should watch that because I don't know anything about his life other than he's just shockingly talented and honestly like might be one of the most impactful artists of my life. Like his music is just so synonymous with so much that I love.
Yeah. Like so much of Spielberg is John Williams. Like that's the thing is like as much as we love Spielberg, so much of it is inseparable from his relationship.
Yeah. You can't think of Jurassic Park or E.T. or Indiana Jones or Star Wars or anything without hearing the music in your head. Yeah, good stuff. Boo-Ray with a $5 dono. Thank you, Boo-Ray. Jack, are you paying attention to the Shout YouTube channel? Plenty of movies being dropped there periodically. Shout with an exclamation point.
Yes. Not the Shout YouTube channel, but like in general, like I do see like movies are coming to YouTube for free, and I'm a YouTube Premium member.
Yeah.
So many wonderful movies coming to YouTube. Like Mallrats was dropped recently.
I like that.
A movie that I own already, but
Yeah.
why not click and watch it? Is it Shout Factory or just the Shout YouTube?
It was.
channel?
I just said shout with a
exclamation mark. Well, I assume it's the YouTube version of the film restoration channel. Like Shout is it's a DVD distributor that do like really niche. And like when I mean really niche, I mean really niche. They're like there's this
Darren,
Ukrainian or Bulgarian
to their mailing list. I know. I know Shout Factory. I just want to make sure it's the same one. Yeah.
I assume
also just on YouTube for free, you can watch Shutter Island, Almost Famous, Labyrinth, the latest True Grit, Shaun of the Dead, Corpse Bride, Scary Movie 1 and Scary Movie 3, but not Scary Movie 2, weirdly enough.
Oh, so this is different than Shout Factory, and that's okay. But
Shout Factory is where shouts are created.
You got to let them all out is the thing.
Yeah, these are the things that I would. Jonathan Griffin, thank you so much for the $5 dono. I also want to say thanks for making the Rewind my favorite second win content. Thank you so much, Jonathan Griffin, and we apologize. Dream bigger. There's so much better on the channel. Boo-ray. Yeah, exactly. Boo-ray, thank you so much for the $1 dono. And then Waiting for Seaman, thank you so much with 100 arses. Any opinions on the Hulu Disney Plus Toonami release of Rooster Fighter? For context, a lonely cock fights monsters to avenge the death of his sister. I'm assuming none of us know what Rooster Fighter is.
I've never heard of this thing, and the images that Eric is showing me makes it seem like a fake thing that KFC made.
It's like the Burger King games where it's like, this is like clearly like an advertising goof.
Yeah, we're just having fun because the new like chicken twister wrap is coming out on KFC.
Is the chicken twister wrap already out?
I believe the chicken twister wrap is out. I've heard good things.
I got dinner plans tonight.
Mountain Dew Sweet Lightning lemonade to go along with it.
Sweet Lightning.
Which is
it scientifically ups your chances of getting struck by lightning when you drink.
That is the KFC exclusive version of Mountain Dew.
Okay.
Incredible. And then Waiting for Seaman back with another arse. 100 arses. I shouldn't have just said another arse. What do you think about Studio Kara doing a Neon Genesis Evangelion short for the 30th anniversary just for Japan, just to release it on YouTube because they sent the drive link to the file for DMCA strikes on XLeaks. I know of them doing a short about Asuka for the 30th anniversary celebration. That was one of the things announced along with the Yoko Taro
reboot
series, whatever they're doing. I didn't know anything about this YouTube drive link DMCA strikes. I've been waiting for it just to be available for me to watch through non-illicit means, but I'll check it out. It is funny when it's kind of funny when stuff leaks. When people are like, "Oh fuck, I just put it up there." I guess when stuff leaks and they're like, "I don't know, what do we do?"
Right? Yeah, fuck it.
No. Yeah. I say it's funny until something of ours leaks, and I'm like, "This is the worst day in human history. This is a nightmare."
Nothing of ours can leak, Marty, because we already release it up on YouTube for free for everyone to watch.
Also, we don't finish things until hours before they're done. Clearly, that's the secret way to do it: is always build the track right in front of you. Boo Ray with a $5 dono. Thank you so much. Real Steel 2. Hugh Jackman bones the robot. They don't call him Noisy Boy for nothing. Is his name Noisy Boy in the movie?
A huge jacked man. Yep. It ain't just the claws that retract, baby.
His penis retracts? It goes inwards?
Sometimes it's cold.
Sometimes it's cold. Sometimes it's cold when you're in bed with real steel. Steel does not conduct heat. Incredible.
Unironically, like a great movie. Like unironically, like a really.
I'm gonna do a double feature: Real Steel and Testament of Ann Lee.
No.
We could talk about both of them.
I mean, they're not unrelated. I guess they're both about people trying to find themselves in America. The American dream as something that escapes and eludes us all.
There you go. Oh, nice. Okay, so Eric said that Ava short is available for free to watch officially on YouTube.
Yeah,
there you go.
Nice.
I'll check that out. Quintuple with a $2 dono. Thank you so much, Darren. What makes The Prestige such a good movie? One sentence.
This is what I was laughing about. It's
very
all
good
of Nolan's interests like boiled down to a single film, in that it is everything that Nolan loves to do, everything that Nolan is interested in, everything that Nolan is fascinated by, distilled down to a single movie that continues to age like fine wine. It is like one of my favorite movies of all time. It is my favorite Nolan movie. I think it is just a masterpiece. It's a movie about everything.
Yeah,
and I'm going to be decent to stop there.
And it's a
Wow.
movie partly about magic tricks that in its construction is a magic trick that you immediately want to watch again after you see everything, and you're like, oh, I want to see how he did this, and seeing it again like shows the movie in a new light.
And it's a movie about making movies, and it's a movie about like making movies where Nolan was in his career, where he had just done a Batman and was about to do like a Batman that would be one of the biggest movies ever made. And is like, at what point do you stop being an artist and start being a showman? At what point do you have to create a public persona for yourself in order to drive your art forward? At what point is what you're doing less important than how you sell it? And also just like late capitalism, commercialism, which is like the idea of the reduction of human beings to mass commodities, where like, slight spoiler for the end of that movie, but if you think about how that movie ends, it is this idea of just endlessly replicating a human body over and over and over again to exploit it for financial gain, and treating that as like the end of the American dream to a certain extent, but the end of like capitalism and mass production and industrialization in a way that is just like beautiful and elegant, is like one of the most profound things I think Nolan has said. Sorry, I will stop rambling.
That's great.
That's a great movie.
That's great.
And then Jonathan Griffin, thank you so much. A $2 dono. We need the Triangle era back. It sounds. The Triangle era.
Superman, it's about there, I think, if my fingers like correctly positioned. The Triangle era.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to do full 2 minutes on this, Eric, but basically,
First of all, Darren, you never know. You never know.
I never know. Sometimes I just find
Sometimes
something.
we also ask follow-up questions if it's interesting enough.
Yeah.
If it's not interesting enough, I'm just like, all right, it's done.
Yeah. By the way, the clock is still ticking. But like, sometimes I find this.
Oh, someone didn't need all the 2 minutes. Now a little worried about the timer.
The Triangle era is basically, so after Crisis on Infinite Earths reboots the DCU in the late 1980s, they have John Byrne come in and do like his Man of Steel reboot, which is like one of the worst things to happen in mainstream American comics. But after Byrne leaves, there's this real question of how do you get people reading Superman comics? And the idea is that you have the various Superman titles, so like Adventures of Superman, Action Comics, and Superman, and that means you're publishing 3 Superman comics a month. And so those stories continue across, where the first part is going to be an Action Comic, second part will be in Superman, third part will be in the Adventures of Superman. So the idea is that you as a reader are being trained to buy 3 Superman books in a month instead of 1 Superman book in a month, and therefore like you have to read them or else you get locked out in terms of continuity. It leads very obviously to the death of Superman, which is one of the big events of the 1990s. If we're talking about things that almost like saved and killed the comic book industry simultaneously, you have to talk about the death of Superman. But yeah, the Triangle era is just this really fascinating period of like Superman history where the book is being written as kind of a round robin being passed between creators and books in a way that, to Marty's point, is next to impossible to read online because you can't hop between titles because of the way that they work. So you have to close your Adventures of Superman issue, go into your Action Comics run, scroll down to like Action Comics 400 or wherever the hell it is, and go, yeah, that's the one I want to read that, and then close it, go out and go to Superman. So I'm 19 seconds out and I'm about done. But yeah, really interesting period of Superman history, impossible to read digitally. I don't mean literally.
That's what it was called.
Because they used to have triangle numbers on the cover, and those numbers will tell you which number it was in the story. So it'd be like part 1, part 2, part 3. Because obviously you couldn't follow the numbers. You know,
the actual issue numbers.
Yeah, the issue numbers.
Oh, gotcha. So it would be like issue number 80, triangle number 2.
2, yes. Yeah, that's it exactly. Like, Jack, if this sounds overly complicated,
that sounds
it is.
Especially
that
marketed
would turn me
towards
off.
children without the internet.
Well, no, that's why you have the triangle, Marty. Yeah, there we go. Like, he has it there.
Yeah.
Like,
and I guess that's why you had the comic book dudes. Like, there used to be comic store dudes who would just be like, I everything I need to know.
Explain this,
Yeah.
And now you have me, apparently, but yes.
Now we have Darren. He's everyone's comic book dude.
People are very nostalgic for that era, again, 90s babies and stuff like that, because it's an era of like Superman that was very popular.
It's because we didn't have any real problems.
Well, it was the 90s, you know,
It was
like
the 90s.
Superman was,
Back when Timothée Chalamet's thoughts on opera and ballet were the most important thing of the day.
But when
Not
Superman was
anymore.
Jesus Christ, he died, had a funeral, was resurrected, in case you didn't get the Christ symbolism of all this. Yes.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Hey,
That's going to do it for us.
we
That was
did
nice
it.
Super chats. We made it to the end. I'm very proud of us. Jack, what do you got going on? What should folks
This
know
is insane. Like, I feel like I gotta like start talking like a Southerner. We got so much time.
These are going to be famous last words. Famous last words.
But 28 minutes later, Jack's like, and that is why the Testament of Anne Lee fucking sucks.
I truly had a very bad time watching that movie.
I went on a date to it. I just want to. That's a very important piece of context.
They also wanted to see the movie.
I went on a date to David Lynch's Inland Empire. Doesn't mean it was a good date. Like,
we have since had talks about sometimes I have to see movies for work, and you don't have to come with me.
To be fair, you didn't have to see Testament. We weren't like, boys, next week it's the Testament of Anne Lee episode.
Chat is demanding the Testament of Testify, baby. Yeah.
No, but
we hit next month's super chat goal, 3 hours on the Testament of Anne Lee.
By the way, Testament of Anne Lee is great.
There are sometimes I will oftentimes I will choose a movie to watch thinking ahead to the podcast. Oh, this could lead to an interesting discussion. So there are some movies that I watch for work that are not necessarily movies that I would choose to watch, but like, oh, I think this is interesting fodder for the podcast. And like I said, we have since had these conversations of like, hey, sometimes maybe don't join me when I go see a movie because it might be a bad time.
Maybe I'll just meet you at dinner afterwards.
Exactly. Like we'll meet up afterwards and discuss our days. Okay, so coming up for me, we are rolling through animation and editing of Adventures in Ice season 5. I don't know if we can announce it yet because Nick has a whole plan and I don't know what his whole plan is. But it's coming up soon. And I'm very excited to have you guys watch this wonderful, wonderful season. A new Battle Masters is right on the horizon. We have that ready to go. Changing up the formula a little bit as we try to figure out how to make this like trivia video game challenge show work the best it can. And I'll be back on Thursday, probably streaming more Slay the Spire 2, just because it's the game I've been playing a lot. But we'll see. I don't know.
Yep.
That's what I got.
Darren. How about yourself?
So I do columns every Friday and Monday on the site. So like last week I did, again, always struggle to remember what they are, but I talked about The Bride, for example, talked about Chainsaw Man, talked about, again, and coming up, I'll be talking about Chainsaw Man again. I'll be talking about like Project Hail Mary. We'll be talking about Invincible and stuff like that as well. That's every Monday and every Friday. You can check those columns out. Also, The Backdrop, which just dropped today, which was edited by the wonderful Jesse Schwab, an incredible, like, as ever, always in awe of how quickly he turns it around, how clear and coherent he is, and how he manages to make me make sense while I'm talking. But this week we take a look at like the Eat the Rich cinema, which is very heavily inspired by, obviously, we recently had the release of How to Make a Killing, which we talked about, which is the Glenn Powell movie. Coming up, we've got like Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, which is the sequel to Ready or Not. But just this general explosion in contemporary culture of like movies about like how awful rich people are, which is a very valid point, and the catharsis of like killing them and brutally murdering them, and the ways in which pop culture can or can't imagine dealing with like the idea of wealth inequality, and why sometimes, despite like being satisfying in the moment, some of those movies leave me feeling a little bit ambiguous or ambivalent in some ways. I think it's a good essay. I think it makes sense. I think it's coherent. I think Jesse did an absolutely incredible job. Really, really. So check that out if you want. And then in the coming weeks, we'll be talking about Scream 7 and the phenomenon of the self-hating sequel, which will inevitably involve the phrase late capitalism.
Yay!
Yeah.
According to Eric, I have 320 articles on Patreon. Genie.
I'm going to put them in a book. Book of Darren.
The Book of Darren is long and boring.
Darren is long and boring. This guy really does talk about late capitalism a lot.
Yeah,
he did not like that recent Star Trek show.
But he won't shut up about it.
Very funny. And then for the rest of the week, no more Second Wind streams. Not this week. I should have worded that sentence differently. No more Second Wind streams today. I'll probably be streaming in the evening on my personal channel at the normal time. Tomorrow we'll have all the normal stuff, fully Ramblematic on Resident Evil 9. That's already been announced. That should be exciting. Yahtzee tries. Casey and I playing more Returnal, and then normal Thursday streams, like Jack said. Jack and Jess will be playing stuff. No RPG help desk. Jesse's going to be out the end of the week, but we'll be doing a Firelink, even though Nick is going to be out for the next 2 weeks in Rome on an actual holiday, on a Roman holiday. There you go.
So strange. People are taking
Roaming
time
around.
off of work. Ew.
Roaming around.
Just
I like. Is there like the equivalent of Star Trek? Nick's gone. Now we can finally talk about blank. We finally have 2 weeks.
I was gonna say, like, when Jack's taking the week off, like, Marty and I need to put our heads together and talk about something that isn't Chainsaw Man, but something like Chainsaw Man.
no,
Yeah.
that's like Marty said. Like when I'm gone, like just get all the Star Wars out of your system.
I mean, if we
talk
When Jack
about
opens
Andor.
the door on Monday morning, there better
Yeah.
be no Star Wars in the room.
Talk Andor, talk your Grogu's, talk your little Grogu stuff, talk your Andors.
Yeah, Mando's all over him. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Mandos all over him. And then normal. There'll be a summer emblematic at the end of the week. Another. Nick has 2 unpacks. Him and Eric have in the bank before his holiday, so you'll get one this week and next week. And then a handful of video essays from me. Eric and I will be doing a Resi 9 one probably for the end of the week. I still have that 2001 best year in gaming video essay that is kind of evergreen, so we're gonna wait for a slow week to put it up. And I should have my Pocopia thoughts next week. So there you go. I'm gonna play so much more Pocopia tonight.
Pocopia while watching the Testament of Anley in the background.
With a little bit of real steel.
A little bit of Pocopia on and off screen, if you know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean, but I'm excited to find out what you mean. For Darren, Jack, and Eric, this was Marty. This was the Rewind episode number 41. Thank you all. Sorry. There was one last one waiting for Seaman. 100 artists. Can we have a similar timer for Marty when he talks about anime? What could be the name of it? Also, sad about Eric for choosing the laziest title for Darren's timer. I would have also done the same though. My thing with anime is I usually get in and get out very quickly. Darren is much better at talking extemporaneous for a long period of time. I'm usually just like, Kaguya-sama is really nice. It's the greatest rom-com since When Harry Met Sally. You should watch it. That's usually my recommendations.
And that is better, to be clear. Brevity being the soul of wit. By the way, that appears in a 4-hour play from a character who is an idiot. But anyway.
You don't want the soul of wit when you make a hot goof like I did and your co-host gives you nothing in return. You don't want that soul of wit.
Hot goof. Isn't that what happened at the end of Evangelion?
God damn it. Should you get in the Ava, you're going to have to hot goof over your friend's hospital bed again. Thank you, everyone, so much for your super chats. Everyone, have a wonderful rest of your Tuesdays, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
No more streams because Shenshi's all exhausted.